A lot of eyes on CG. SRG has already gone through. Malaysia has one representative. They will want to make it too.
On the other side, the Youngbloods of Latam return to the world stage for their first ever best of 3 match. In the EXP, it's Orochi, Jungle Haidon Bush, Mid Shin, Rome Steph, and Gold Doob. Rise up, Black Sentence!
The representatives coming in from Latam have worked too hard and too long to fail right now. With the entire region on their shoulders, both CG and BSE will have to duke it out, especially when it comes to the Battle of the Minds. Let's have a look for both Coach Tsubasa and Coach Lane Time, alongside with CG's coaches, Coach Rain and Coach Cody. Once again, thank you to Gary as our head marshal to make sure competitive integrity is at an all-time high.
For the sake of artistic integrity, I wish blue side was on the left side and red side was on the right side, but they flipped it up, and now I'm a little bit OC about this.
You can't expect them to change their seats between every game.
Forgive me for taking away a little bit from the intensity of the matchup, but I just had to put it out there. But it's cool to see it nonetheless, and I hope we get to see the best of the best between these two, as they have struggled so far in the M7 World Championship. Black Sentence, we've talked about Shin. I want to talk about Hyde on Bush. When it comes to Latin America, assassins are some of the best roles that they have. Some of their best players came out of the jungle, and Hyde on Bush is one of those players as well.
Yep, but they centered their entire composition around Shin, right? So again, it really begs the question, who is going to be that secondary carry if not Haidon Bush or even Doom? Because we've seen how Orochi and Estefe like to play. They set up for the rest of the team at the cost of their own laning phases if necessary. And Stefe has to be even more careful because he's paired alongside the main carry, Shin.
Yeah, although wherever they put their carries to can tend to be a bit unpredictable, because they can go as far as putting an X-Borg in the jungle, as we saw from them recently. So maybe that's something they will, or we will be watching out for in this series. But for CG Esports, we did mention that in the beginning it may have been a bit more rough for them. They tried to go a bit extreme in terms of how they were trying to attack and approach that game against SRG. But after that, when it was a bit more standard for them, we saw how the fundamentals were indeed there. Strong Todak roots, as you would argue. And I guess them living up to how the mid game is their known strength. So we'll see if that's going to be carried over in this game, especially if you get a really good head start.
So, will Gary get his assassins? Will he get his Lancelot? Or will Black Sentence just let it through? Because if CG don't ban the Grok, it was the Grok of Steph that turned things around for for Black Sentence against CFU in the very first day of Swiss in round 1. Round 2 and 3, though, Alter Ego and Team Falcons completely outclassed Black Sentence because they decided to target the mid lane. We have a code here, actually, from Humes, Gideon.
Yep, brothers in support. I hope you guys at CG Esports can make it to the knockout stage, and let's go. I trust you all, and I believe in you guys. You guys can do it. Let's go, Chiku. Let's go.
It's okay, that's a lot of let's goes.
I mean, I want to say it in a particular way, but I feel like that's copyright infringement. Let's go. Yeah, you got it.
I'll do it. Let's go. I can't think. I'm scared. I'm worried.
The rest of Liquid is just like, the lawsuit's going to be so juicy.
Their jackets are blue too.
Coincidence? I think not. Okay, now, if we're talking about pillars of... Oh, wow. Wait, they flew all the way out here. I'm surprised that they even bothered to. Shout out to Malaysian fans.
Are they fans or relatives or, well, whatever they are like?
They're still fans, even if they are relatives.
For you to fly out.
Why does it matter?
No, it doesn't. I mean, like,
why does it matter whether or not they're fans or family? They are supporters at the end of the day.
Yes, that was my bad. My mistake. But Malaysia, Indonesia, no. I'm not.
It's not.
I'm not gonna fight.
Because truly, I think that if we're talking about like pillars and support, I think it just boils down to Amzik. I think it's between Doom and Amzik right now that's going to make the biggest difference, other than the secondary roles of Chiku alongside with Shin. Because I think Shin has a pretty high chance of beating Chiku in lane, but I think Amzik is what's going to save this team.
Okay, we're now in Flying Cloud, so let's look at the side laners to have a lot more impact here. A lot more aggressive trades in the lanes as you can go back into your lane quicker if ever you do lose and you're forced to go back. CG, as expected, will take away the Grog. I think this has to be a standard for CG. They cannot give Stefan his Grog.
Yep.
Who will win this match? Earlier, it was such a close
Yeah, it was.
fight in our fandom wars, but right now it seems like CG, aside from their on-site fans, are leading it. We got to see the Latam fan base.
We did.
wake up.
They are awake, and at the very least, it'll take a little bit of time before they start putting their their points up on the board for who will win this match. Because again, time zone difference, real annoying. But at the same time, BSE, they got rid of the Claude. They're getting rid of the Jushin. These have been standard bans all across M7. The only thing is, what are they trying to set up now that Yuzong is gone?
Yeah. Oh,
Take away this old. I was actually about to say that maybe they want to get the sword for themselves, but they decided to ban it out.
interesting. Because even the Claude, now that it's gone, makes you wonder what could be the priority for CG.
Oh, they can go Kalea. If we're just looking at the main priorities on blue side.
Or the Lancelot.
Yeah, but I'd be a bit hesitant to pick up the Lancelot, again, considering that the Hilda's still open, Cho's still open.
Yeah.
You have a lot of heroes that can pressure the jungle, continuously get vision against that Lance.
I think they pick Eve.
Take it away from Shin, of course, yeah.
But the thing is that, like,
What's your command?
oh, Fanny is this is so smart of BSE. Okay, so now artillery majors are on the table. It's just, which do you prefer? Do you think that Eve is going to be a little bit more useful here, or do you prefer the Farsa? Because if you get Eve, there's a chance you could go for Uranus, Fredrin. If you go for Farsa, Kalia just seems like the better option.
Yeah. I think that's our top two right now, either the Eve or Kalea. It's up for CG to decide which one that they won't get.
And then they lock in something like Lapu and be like Joe.
Or the Cho again.
Oh, Tro once more. That's also a pretty good option.
Yeah. They're taking their time.
Take away an option for Steffi. You have something that could lock down hide on push if ever. So Eve, great call there. That is going to be the first pick. Black Sentence, I just want to see them pick up one of the assassins now.
They can go for the Shunshin if they want
Yes.
to. It is a little susceptible to the Hayabusa, knowing that Farsa is probably the only other option still left for mid laners other than Lunox, but you can force them into the Lunox, but then mid lane becomes a little stale at that point.
Lisa Chin, Hilda. Oh, what?
Oh, wow. I did not expect the Boxer pick, I will be honest. Though it is undefeated right now in Swiss. The Hilda makes sense. They know they're going up against an assassin. They'd want to pressure on that. Maybe that's why they paired it up with the Boxer, but I feel like they could have gone a different route to this.
Ooh.
They never had to worry about the Boxer not being available for them.
Yes. Well, I mean, it's a bit of a yes and no, because I feel like at the end of the day, it's weird that they're picking up within like first rotation. I'm
Yeah.
thinking maybe like a third and potentially fourth pick here, but since they've showed it up super early, there's literally no reason for the side of CG to actually go for the Fredrin in the first place, unless they truly just want to
There
play
goes the
around Chiku. There we go. Carry. They've also got lockdown. Farsa finally gets locked in. This is telegraphed.
Yeah. The carry pickup. Such a great response to both the Hilda and the Vaksha already revealed for SE. I can't help but think what could be their gold later in this scenario.
Do they have to play Granger? Are they locked into Granger? They could go for Harith if they want to.
There's a Neve though, but
Yeah, it's not the easiest.
I mean, no matter what, the mid lane's just gonna mess with you. So it's just, you gotta take your licks.
I'm thinking though that what if we're getting kind of fooled here by Black Sentence? What if this Boxer's a flex? What if they haven't completely locked it in the jungle and it might suddenly go roam? They put the Hilda and EXP if the matchup is favorable for them. That way they can still apply pressure towards the jungle of CG. CG will take away the Moskov. They are playing a static gold. But then they're just egging on Black Sentence to, okay, yes, freely pick the Granger at red 4. You guys are going to be fine with that Granger.
Yeah, I think they're okay with it. I think that
Yeah.
right now CG has set up. They're like, Gary, you are going to play Fredrin whether you like it or not. If not, you might end up with something like Alpha, because we're scared that maybe Hilda is just going to mess with you. But either way, since you've got a tank, you're generally, or a fighter, you're generally not worried at all. Unless maybe BSE decides to whip out like a random double fighter style composition. But I don't see how it scales with just Farsa.
Yeah, might be a bit too tricky for this lineup too.
Okay.
Are they banking on a CC?
I think they're going to go Uranus, Fredrin.
Oh no, also CG are probably thinking that Black Sentence can just pick up the YSS here also. If ever the Baxia is actually not the jungle pick for them.
Experience the euphoria.
I'll get there.
Okay.
Granger at 4, as expected.
Super safe. This entire time, Kalia has just not been touched, by the
Yeah.
way. It's just, nobody cares about it. Apparently not a great hero.
I still think that maybe the Hilda is already rogue. The Baxia maybe not flexible anymore than it is the jungle. Let's work around that assumption. And it is Kalea Farsa. Great combo.
Mm.
If we end up Uranus into Baxia, is that the worst matchup possible for him? Maybe if you mess up hard at level 1, but other than that, you should be able to kind of get in and out of these fights relatively easy at max stacks. You just never take the EXP grab. You just leave it there.
Yeah.
Just the farm.
Oh,
Okay, glue works as well. Joy as an assassin makes a lot of sense. Still, plenty of, again, there were a lot of jungle options. Open is just pick your poison at this point. The glue is relatively interesting because I feel like as much as the Uranus probably would have been helpful, the Baxia is just too much of an issue. The little globlets, little tiny Patricks, are able to actually absorb the damage from Baxia.
I love how we already assume that he's going to be using the Patrick
Yep.
skin.
I mean, if you're not, you're trolling, right? It
Yeah.
clearly gives you more power.
Yeah, if the Patrick doesn't come up, I'm going to request for a pause myself. Wait, is this the bug?
You're waving down the marshal. Stop the game!
Where's the Patrick skin?
That's not the right skin!
Oh, yeah, we did get to see the Glue Arlot matchup yesterday, and it was more of a battle outside of the lane and
Yeah.
more of their effect when it came to the big major team fights when they were all together. Baxia jungle getting shown early. This is a Black Sentence comfort, it feels like, so that they are used to playing in LATAM. It's game number 1 of our second series, LATAM versus Malaysia. Black Sentence versus CG. I want to bring this vibe in this real quick first. Do you have a preferred lineup at the end of the draft?
Smash them.
Mm,
All
I have to
troops
say, after
deployed.
what happened yesterday, I might be siding a bit more,
Welcome
definitely
to
with
Mobile
CG
Legends.
Yeah, with the
in
glue.
this glue, because it's gonna help so much. And the amount of frontliners that are, see, there goes the Patrick skin as
Mhm.
confirmed. The amount of frontliners here that are present for BSE.
Yeah.
So there's a direct response, but we'll see about that. This is still a very fast rotating draft that Black Sentence has drafted. So maybe, just maybe, if they get the right tempo.
I think that's what this game is going to be about, right? It's all about tempo. These smaller trades that we see in these fights. Oh, God.
Speaking of tempo, immediately looking for Chico in mid, and now look at how low Valence is. He's actually going to be first blood. Gary gets a trade on Hide on Bush though, so I guess it's worth it.
Worth it
in a
for
way.
CG, not worth it for Black Sentence. They lose
For
their
CG,
jungler
yeah.
so early.
Well, I mean, I guess it depends, right? Because this has a lingering effect. Because Chico is now too low. He might lose some EXP here just because of that initial fight.
Yeah, in a way, it's a utility jungler too that they took out. So I guess it isn't as bad for Black Sentence just yet. And it's nice to see how aggressive they can play this, but
I mean,
He's got to stop. He's got to stop.
are you not gonna go? Oh, Gary's there. Maybe that's why. So they get some assistance in terms of clearing the mid lane.
I like how Chico's just playing it right at the edge, man.
I swear, if there was another gang from underneath the tower from Hide on Rush, that would have been frustrating.
Of course, as Hide on Bush went down, he had to go back to his rotations. Pass out the F3 and Valence. Turtle will now spawn. And Hide on Bush, despite the early death, still willing to contest.
Emblems are still standard as ever, as we see that a majority of members are hitting the level 4s. In terms of support, Steph a slight EXP advantage onto Valence. They're not going to have their big ult And I think this is a pretty good example of when you should probably back away from the fight.
Okay, A3 now trying
This is-
to look for a target. Steffi though, he's finding Chico. Chico though, using the Cyclone Eye and laid down the real world manipulation just in time. Picks up a double kill. Gary gets to run away. Steffi uses the flicker, but now he'll have to say goodbye as well. Yeah, 3. Can he take him down? Gary helps him, but he gets taken down instead. What?
He just needed to walk up, skill 1, walk backwards, save your dash in case he tries to close the distance. Because at the end of the day, all you want to do is just negate a bit of HP before the Wilderness Blessing. What?
I'm trying.
Not in the direction they wanted. Doom lives instead.
Oh my, Valence. Doom, of course, not backing Purify. That's just Flicker, and he didn't even use it.
Oh my goodness,
Oh!
Chico in mid! Early shutdown by Steffi.
Now you see the Black Sentence plan, right? They're trying to target Chico as much as they can, and they know that he can take this type of pressure. They know that Steffi can get onto him for free because Valence is looking on the opposite side. I'm not looking to try and peel just yet. I want big sets, and I want to make sure that Shin will never feel comfortable to actually feathered airstrike. At least Valence able to hold away for his boy, catches back up.
Yeah, row mid trio. Focused rotations by both. Just a slight lead here for Steph on the Hilda. Both did pack Encourage, but he did get 2 kills already. Skypiercer rush
Whoa.
for Doom after building the Fury Hammer.
Oh, they spot Valence here. It's Curse of the Crowd connects, and now Orochi
Oh.
dives in. Using the final slash as well. Gary finding the targets, and they will trade out Orochi for that. A roam for an EXP lane.
Yep, very worth it, especially since Orochi had the flicker for it as well. So they know that this upcoming fight, Orochi's not going to be able to do too much and can't make a super play of his own to turn those tides. But they got to be careful because now Amzik is having to deal with a lot of pressure from the 3 members of Black Sentence as they look to position for this upcoming turtle.
Great follow up by Orochi. Hopefully we get to see more link ups like that. Final slash, make it worth.
Once again, Hide on Bush starting things up for Black Sentence. There's the
Yo.
counter real world manipulation though, but Valence, before he even gets to complete the Way of the Dragon, gets bursted down. Hide on Bush now gone as well. Gary still fighting Orochi, and Amzik joining the fight helps so much in terms of the damage that CG Esports is able to throw out. He takes down
Oh.
Jin, but Doom picks up a double.
Okay, double. Very important for Black Sentence. They get 2 stacks for their Granger. Skypiercer built up before that. Hopefully they stop sending their jungler as the main frontliner slash roamer.
Whoa.
But Chiku gets the purple buff last hit, taking it away from Hide on Bush. I know he's a utility jungler, but maybe stop sending him in front all the time.
Honestly, considering that they're winning out of like a majority of these trades, let's find out!
Oh, Gary still finds the objective. Final slash doesn't connect. Steffi was trying to run after him, but Chiku, he's just blocking the way. Look at that purple buff, Eve. Oh,
Okay, all right. He's able to kind of just show the border here, and that's the most important part. As Orochi has already used his final slash, Amzik, again, trying to stay alive for as long as possible. He is the main win condition, as Chiku is now in a phenomenal position. Look, he's a full 900 gold against his opponent. He's 5-1 and 4 against Shin, and Shin only has completed a Lightning Truncheon. In terms of DPS output, Shin should be the one who's feeling overwhelming. However, this glowing wand is doing a lot of work. Steffi can't walk up comfortably. Orochi isn't going to be able to sustain as long as he would like to. Even Hide on Brush has to be a little careful.
Red team turret has been
every
destroyed.
single time Black Sentence tried to go for Chiku. But now it's Chiku who's up there in terms of the leads. So that's potentially denying Black Sentence of their initial plan, so they might have to change things up a bit. Now
Valence?
Valence trying to look for Doom, once again lands the kick, but maybe not in the direction that they wanted. Gary fortunately was there though to finish off the kill. A bit of slows from the Void Crystal,
Okay.
but does Gary have a way out of this? He doesn't, as he's getting shut down by Hide on a Bush.
All right, with all of that happening, CG Esports get to push up top as Amzik free to split push. But the reduction on the turret's still up, so he's going to stop that. That was a great setup between Gary and Valence.
I don't know if Gary messed up there. I don't know if his dash was still on cooldown or he tried to dash and then got hit by the rolling pin of Hide on Brush.
I feel like the moment the kick was in the wrong direction, and CG Esports decided to just force it.
What if this whole time his name isn't Hide on Brush? What if he's Hideon?
What if he's Faker? Maybe he's smurfing. I don't know. We don't know. With the Wishing Lantern in hand, Chico Guys is going to make him pay. At the very least, now Chico Guys is like, I've got enough utility. Hide on Bush, he shouldn't be a problem. Just give me some time. Same goes for Steffe, but let's play the poking game. Let me and Ye3 do some work.
Oh, speaking of Year 3,
Yeah,
might
keep
actually find
like
Hide
this.
here. Oh, Orochi still not using Final Slash, trying to get a bit more information before they actually try to go for a play. Now CG Esports pulls the objective towards their side.
Yeah, and you can see that, like, Ye3, he's basically taking negative damage, right? He's pretty tanky.
Oh, now Valence once again. He uses the way to Dragon on Hyden Bush. Was not the right target. Gary, though, gets the objective. And look at the amount of damage that's coming in from them. Onto the back lines. Ye3 successfully isolates Shin. Amzik with the free hits. And Hyden Bush once again on his fourth death of this game. Oh, Steffi, though. Will he get to pick out Amzik here?
Oh.
Ye3 helps him, and he does not.
This is a very different CG. I don't... Right? Chico, he should be okay. Oh!
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 Lethal
Still
ignition.
gets him with a lethal ignition. Burn too.
What?
Lots of fights. Very scrappy. 24 kills. As we're heading into the 9th minute of the game, folks.
This has been one of the bloodier battles we've seen here at M7. Chico giving a huge shutdown over to Shin, though. I don't know if that was worth it, because now Shin is in a much better position now to actually scale back up into this game. And Ye3, let's see, does he have any MR? He's halfway there. Okay, still in the process of it.
Yeah, but so far this glue has been way too tanky for Black Santas to really think about, which is messing up their team fight, because Shin and Doom can't team fight comfortably. They always just have Ye3 standing up on them, grabbing them with the ultimate, messing up their flow, that it just leaves Hide on Bush and Orochi, Hideon and Orochi to just now be at this. They're both 4 deaths apiece. Yeah, I think they have to think about the glue first before they start really fighting heavily, because it seems like the idea of, all right, let's ignore the glue, he's just gonna be there, it's not working out well for Black Sentence.
I think that Shin and Doom need to split up, right? Because we know that Ye3 is going to try and get on a one or the other target, but Shin has Purify and Doom has Flicker. I would say that Purify is probably a more expendable spell in a lot of these situations, and considering that Orochi wants to displace his targets, I think the biggest problem right now is that half the fights that we see is Black Sentence chasing, and then by the time they realize that it's, oh wait, this is a potential trap, CG has already initiated,
Yes.
right? So start first, figure out where Chiku Guys is. If they look like they're doing something silly, there's a good chance that Chiku Guys is probably going to catch you at max range with RWM.
Because Ye3, every single time, he just links up with Gary, or Gary
Yeah.
decides to link up with Ye3. So whoever he gets to find, and it's bonus if they get to find Shin and Doom close together. So
Yeah.
that's
I mean, it's Fred as oh, what a kick!
Good.
and they get to find Orochi, have the right amount of damage, and Gary once again onto the back lines. Still, somehow, Doom survives though, but that will then result into CG freely taking this Lord.
Yep, they should be able to get this.
Yeah.
I don't want to jinx it, but looking that Doom is going to the top side of the map and Steffe is just hovering around, it should be a guaranteed secure.
Chico has really set the tempo here for CG, 6-2 and 7. Yeah, once again, the link up. Black Santas has way too many divers and ultimates. Can Valence actually stop Doom from getting back?
Oh! The last phase of the Jeet could go!
Wait,
but then
might
the
get punished.
damage from Doom is a bit too much. He gets to deny the recall though. But Haidon, Bush, and Shin are there to help.
And even Ye3 was looking for a potential interception. Well, at least it didn't surmount too much, but now BSC at full fighting capacity, ready to deal with this upcoming Lord, despite being 5.2k down. And I think that it's a good approach. CG understand that their biggest problem is that if they initiate, Orochi could counter-initiate with Flicker, Final Slash. Oh, I don't know if that was...
The damage though.
I don't think that was necessary.
Yeah, Orochi didn't need to burn that. Now they're not going to have a flicker and final slash for this defense, which means that second tower down, they'll be able to take the second tower up top. And Black Santas will now have to play from a massive deficit. What I like about CG Esports in this game so far, is that it feels like there's always someone somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
They're fighting one way. Gary can easily access the back line. Oh,
Yeah.
Gary's a little bit still catching up to the team fight. Yeah, three's already on them. Of course, we know how many angles Valens can initiate through. Well, Chico and Amzik have just been having the time of their life. Yes, it's two deaths on Chico. It's a single death on Amzik. But majority of the team fights that we've seen them in have been just them comfortable.
Mm.
Yes, they'll take some damage. Maybe they'll die here and there. But overall, it's a much better time compared to Doom and Shin, who it seems like every team fight is so demanding for them because all the members of Black Sentence decide to move forward and dive together. No one's really peeling for the back.
Yeah, nobody is designed to peel for the back. Maybe there's like an argument for like Steffe to like buy a little bit of time,
Yeah.
but really you're not stopping Gary if he plays it perfectly, and that's the big issue. And I think when we're looking at how Haidan Bush and Orochi need to kind of like position themselves, a lot of it boils down to whether or not they see Amzik or Chiku guys. And now that Chiku is super far ahead, he's getting free poke on the front line. So when that happens, when Chiku comes up to go for that poke, Orochi needs to have his flicker final slash to punish.
Yeah, and the way that CG are making sure that they're positioned from the opposite side of wherever the final slash could come from. When we saw that even from Amzik earlier when he was handling the top lane, Orochi couldn't do much. Couldn't even commit on the final slash because they wouldn't be really putting Amzik in a dangerous position nonetheless. So now they're left to just defend with this 6.5k gold lead in the hands of CG Esports. But Valence, okay, he gets revealed by the Magic Sentry.
When we hit critical mass and somehow Black Sentence can come back through this, no way. Can they actually? Should be fine.
Yeah.
Oh!
Once again, Doom might just be safe from this feathered airstrike too, dealing a lot of damage, but there's the real world manipulation and the electrifying beats! Gary makes sure the job gets done, but then he goes down too. Amzik still here, however, and there goes Ye3. Might have to get out of this though, because now they force the fight under the turret. Chiku finds the kill onto Steffe, and a mega kill for Amzik comes through.
It looks like it could be more here. Black Sentence forcing out the feathered airstrike from their own Shin just so that they can defend.
What? Oh, since the feathered airstrike was used on the minions, now
He
they
missed
can
the stun.
go for a
he's
round
dead.
two. Purify,
This
forced
kid.
out of Shin, and it's a wipeout. CG Esports successfully take down all 5 members.
This kid, had he survived that, that was an endgame scenario.
Yeah.
Chiku and as well as Valens would give up their lives to save that last minion, and they would just close out the game. He saw the stun come out, instantly flickered. He does not want to be disrespected like that. They've got to be careful. Amzik is playing a strong game here today. Even Doom, he's playing pretty strong, but the problem is that there's too much CC targeted towards him.
The gameplay for Valens is, or the game plan for him, told by CG is, dude, just kick Doom, even if you kick him the wrong direction, it's fine. Force out his flicker. I'm okay with it because every time they see that the flicker's gone from Granger, Gary has the easiest dive of his life just taking down Doom. And that's like 80% of the damage Black Sentence can dish out in a regular basis. Then they'll have to turn it around and play solely through their Farsa, who, again, it's so difficult for this Farsa to play.
Oh, Haidan Bush once again alongside Steffe and Orochi. They actually find a 2-man set with
Gary.
the final slash, but Gary once more. Who's gonna stop Gary from doing this? Haidan Bush falls next, and Gary still reaches for Shin. Steffe all alone, and finally the angle's right. Once more, CG Esports with the wipeout.
Beautiful, beautiful work coming in from CG's side. This is honest to God, this is the first time I've seen them play in this way. It's new, it's unique, I like it, and it truly speaks the brand CG. If you are gonna die, I will make your life worth it.
40 kills in total in 16 minutes and 22 seconds. To say that was action-packed would be accurate. To say that was the cleanest, not really. But man, was it entertaining. They put on a show. Black Sentence, though, in the end, outclassed, outmatched, and way too easy for that Joy of Gary to access the main damage dealers. Match point for CG. Something I could ask Black Sentence to fix is, you're gonna end up with that, make sure you're taking your conditions. They kept fighting as if the joy was not there. But you cannot fight until you have info as to where the joy is.
I couldn't count the amount of times the Vaxia Shield Unity was just used to dive onto members, and everyone else would just follow.
Yeah.
That wasn't the right call.
Just look at 90% of these fights. How do they always progress? It's always, I wait for Shin to do something, then I let loose, right? Because then you know the borders of exactly how far you need to be to really get some major value. And obviously we're looking at like the last few fights, but this similar scenario has happened at least 3 times.
Actually, a lot fixed up here by Black Sentis in terms of their decision making. They could have made this draft work. The glue ultimately still would have been very problematic to deal with. But you saw it. They were able to fight it out. They were making CG struggle. They were being able to dance with them. But in the end, forgetting about the joy, not respecting how easy it is. For a joy to access the back line became their doom. No pun intended.
It's just,
Zoom was also there.
yeah, it's a tough game. It's a tough game for BSC no matter what, right? Because again, they were looking for scenarios where they actually traded up. The most they got was traded evenly, or they were punching down, which is again a large reason why we saw the gold deficit end up the way that it was, right? It was a 6K deficit overall, but generally speaking, if they could have minimized the damage with the timings of their fights, they could probably negate it down to about 2 and get like, I don't know, at least 60% discount off the deficit.
Yeah.
Towards the end, it was even approaching 10K. That was like how many times did we see them? Twice. There was a 2-time wipeout throughout that entire game. And it's as if BSE did not learn their lesson from that from the repeated approach that they did in the team fights. 'Cause
Yeah.
it's not like they did something different. They didn't do anything different. It was the exact same procedure all over again for all the team fights that we saw. And by the time you realize it's not working, you should expect that something would change, but they didn't.
Well, I think I think they'll understand why they made the mistakes when they VOD review, right? Because when we're talking about a line of sight or how much vision they actually have, I don't think Shin saw exactly where Chiku Guys was actually sitting when the RWM happened. He was doing it in the bush halfway across the world, and 90% of the time, the rest of the team is trying to look. Even Steffe made a point to try and look for Chiku ahead of time, just to be like, where exactly is he? And then you don't have the final slash to counter engage, and then the resources start falling through. And of course, Gary, once he's scaled up, there's no counterplay.
I'll give it to Black Sentis. They had a lot of pretty sick initiations. Like, oh, cool. Nice final slash, bro. Great bump with the shield unity. What crowd control ability do you have left, man? Here comes the joy. Here comes the rest of CG. You have nothing to deal with the glue anymore. Poor Shin, poor Doom, which Shin and Doom positioned as well as anyone could in this game. But of course, Gary is going to have an easy time every time if all crowd control abilities were already used and there's nothing to lock down this joy. Your lineup already doesn't have the hard target lockdown other than the Hilda.
No.
Can't blame Steffe. He'd want to be able to use it to start things off for punish. He went 5-5-4. That's an impressive stat line. But Haidut, Bush, and Orochi could have timed their crowd control much better.
Yeah, but even if they didn't want to use the Hilda to look for engages, right? We're so used to seeing the Hildas just being the guy looking or going from behind, but I think this is your time.
Yeah, no, I think you guys have great points because at the end of the day, it's about the way that you manage the fights. As we see these fights continue to progress time and time again, right? A lot of it comes down to, can we actually get access to the back line? And Ye3 shows right here that he became an invincible wall of meat. Let's pause this for a moment, right? In the middle of this fight, as you can see, a lot of the members here, and especially where Chiku Guy's position is on this side, it's clear that he wants the RWM, but he doesn't let the RWM loose whenever he feels like it, right? He's particularly looking for a target. A lot of it comes down to where exactly is Shin, where exactly is Doom. And 90% of the time, they know that this tri-brush is going to be the most important area that they want to actually contest for. But they don't want to face check it. They got to let their opponents come in first. Why? Orochi is their biggest stopper. If Orochi has ult, they are nervous to walk in. If they clump up too close together, they will die. And as soon as it happens, the RWM pops in the nick of time, and he's always outside of the range of the feathered airstrike. Now, this is one attempt. This is, well, technically the second attempt of the RWMs. This is the third. Once again, he's getting blasted down, but there's not enough shots on him. We're going to see another RWM almost immediately after this as well. These fights are predetermined by these ults. And the most important part is whether or not Shin is in range. If he's out of range, you eliminate one huge possibility. If you don't have their ults, that means Ye3 and Joy can just walk in for free. Which is why Amzik, no stun, I kill you. Simple as that.
How many times do we see this happen? There's another
That's
final
4.
flash that they did though, or that's the fourth real world.
A lot of these highlights look very similar.
Yes, you see? It's the same formula being reproduced and given to the public in mass quantities.
Gotta change things up. Black Sentence.
Yeah, they.
Gotta change up your timings a little bit.
Yeah. Just gotta get those views up real quick.
Yeah. Why was I punching my? I mean,
It adds to the intensity.
it gets so frustrating at times.
It does.
Yeah.
It does. It's a very similar feeling to our last best of 3, but this one, I really think the BSE had a pretty decent idea, but they don't realize how valuable some of these resources are. Like, yes, the final slash is pretty short, but as soon as you whiff it, you're gonna see an instant response. And Ye3 is just like, I'm waiting for you. He's 0-1 and 17.
Yeah, I wonder how things would have been if CG were the ones to be to start the fight, or like how could have BSE utilized their resources to turn things around? Maybe even just when Shin, or during that point in the game where Shin got the shutdowns or got a bit more gold and was able to catch up, because all the initiations started from BSE, and it's not like all these initiations were on point or on to the right targets. So it immediately resulted to wasted resources. Like, there's no other way to put it.
I think the few adjustments that they could have made is probably towards understanding why Chiku wanted to go for this Yve pick, right? I think this Yve would have worked phenomenally if Shin had access to it, considering what their lineup is all about. As much as they want to have that quote-unquote burst, the peel is a lot more valuable when you are playing against like a tank style, and more so to deny it from your opponent, because now Hagadon Bush isn't afraid of a Wishing Lantern anymore.
So much control on the side of CG that I wouldn't mind if CG decides to play around this idea for this entire series, or just for this game too, if ever they're going to sweep it here. Because it seems like Black Sentence, that game 1 was so exposing in the sense of, okay, we know how they like to fight, which is, it seems like it's just, let's think about the setup, let's think about starting things off, and then let's just go on from there. Because if we get the initiation, then it's good for us, but that is not true every time. What's true is, our friends are really great, and M7 has a lot of friends.
Dude,
Get
I'm
to play the games, man.
remember, I'm so in debt. I'm missing 20,000 USD, and I need to pay in like a week's time.
Well, we have a solution for you. We're gonna do that, Reed.
You just gotta download Fairy Games, Gideon.
What? That's it? How does it work?
Gideon Bush. Play MLB V1v1 and win up to 20,000 US dollars. How it works, you just have to download Fairy Games on the App Store or Google Play and play 1v1s, no teams, versus AI. I think this is the important point. It's versus AI, and you submit your best personal score. Then you can win up to 20,000 USD and many more prizes from the app. It's just that easy.
Yeah, excuse the debt. I'm curious. How difficult is this AI now that I'm curious? I'll check it out later, but I think for now, I just got to focus on the Battle Pass, my guy.
Yeah, because you can get a Yuzhong Emerald Dragon skin for MCGG. So from now to February 8th, reach level 45 in the Go 1 Pass to unlock that. And you can purchase the Go 1 Pass to instantly unlock Yuzhong's Go 1 skin, Dragon Shade, and you reach level 75. You unlock Yuzhong's Prime skin, Cosmic Dragon. So just when you
Cute.
thought it's only the MLBB, the M7 pass. No, we even have a Go One pass for our go-goers out there.
No way! I have to complete 2 battle passes now. How am I gonna do it, man? I'm already 20,000 USD in debt as
So
well.
here's what you do: you do very games. You get
Uh-huh.
number one there. You get
Okay.
$20,000.
Got
Yeah.
you.
Use 10,000 on, maybe not 10,000. But let's say a lot of money on the M7 pass. A
Uh-huh.
lot of money on the MCGG pass.
Uh-huh.
Uh,
Sell both accounts, get the 10,000 back, pay the debt.
No, I mean, it goes to your bank account. Then I'm not good. I'm not good at math. Yes, let's just go with yes. Which hero do you want to see picked more between these two? So, if you missed yesterday, it's because yesterday we saw a Harley brought up by Aurora Turquía's TNZ, and it won. And then Chip by Aurora Gaming PH's Light, and it won.
it just had to be both Aurora teams picking up these picks.
Oh, you're right. Yeah, yeah.
If the Northern Lights were in the skies of Jakarta right now, you'd just see images of Chip and Harley just floating by in multiple colors.
That is quite terrifying.
A phenomenon that shouldn't be happening, not natural in
Yeah.
Jakarta, but more so, I would say Chip. I think Chip, chat, you better agree with me. If I see one of you dirty Harley players in my goddamn game, I will use my good credit with the big G upstairs to get you out, to make sure you don't make it into the pearly whites.
Hey guys, let's piss off Gideon and just type Harley in the chat.
Why do you hate Harley
Spam
so
Harley.
much?
Go to his social media at Fatal Five Way.
Just use Agate EQ. I think that's
Yeah, or Gideon Q, and then just DM him Harley. That's it.
No, Harley Impure Rage.
Harley, specifically that. Who needs lethal ignition, man? The damage is already busted.
You missed out 2 kills, TNZ. I'm just saying. You could have been like 3 kills up if you just had lethal
Hey
ignition.
man, he ended up getting the MVP.
I mean,
Yep.
disgusting. If I ever was like derogatory, it'd be towards Harley. I get where Mirko was coming from that other day. I was just as bad. Just Arthur clenching his fist.
Yeah.
Why?
Okay. Game number 2. Type it out in the comment section if you think Black Sentence will be able to win this, or will it still just go CG Swin? We're gonna see another sweep for this day of Swiss.
Ooh.
Again, Chiku was terrific on this eve. The glue was nigh unstoppable. Valence off kicks here and there, but at the end of the day, he got the job done on that show.
Yeah,
Oh,
and
yeah.
he ended the game with a highlight.
Mhm.
kick.
He did.
At least it was in relatively the right direction. But I think that most people who weren't like paying attention to how his kicks work, usually at the very least, Doom was flickering out of them, or it
Yeah.
looks like a weird angle. But Gary's like, I've been waiting in this off angle for years.
Yeah, and to be fair, it's not just the kicks. There was this one moment in the top lane where he also got to deny Doom from recalling
Mhm.
Yeah.
with that last phase of the Jeet Kune Do. They didn't convert that into a kill, but like that was one of the many things that they were able to do. So they just were the ones setting the tempo for that game, which BSE did not like clearly. So
Yeah, it was a very good read. And I think, to be fair, with the bands that Black Sentence decided to go for, Juice and Claude Fanny, they picked up the Hilda. It seems like today,
today,
why has today been like whoever gets a Cho in Bluetooth 3 just ends up winning?
I think
CFU did it twice, won, dominated. CG got the Cho again, dominated.
I personally believe that right now the easy adjustment is just pick up Gatot. Because again, both sides play for mid laners that want artillery. Just pick the Gatot, and then you know that Chiku plays Lunok, so you just have to just play around that or ban it out. It's not that
Yeah,
difficult.
I agree. I wonder because even for Team Zone, they used prio pick the Gatot. They didn't at all in that entire game. What they did was go for the high loss. And now, in this scenario, they prio pick the backshot. So there have been some interesting prio
Yeah,
picks in the red side.
If there's something that I could have changed, I think it would have been the box priority. Again, they did not need to pick that up. It was not gonna. They were not gonna lose it unless, of course, little birdie told us that what if maybe these two know each other a little bit too well
Ah.
and decided that the Baksha was priority.
I feel like there is more than meets the eye, right? Because
Yeah.
it's one of those draft patterns from both CG and as well as BSE that felt very intentional. Yet I couldn't see the logic until the first initial picks come through, right? So it's not like it's telegraphed to them, but it's curiosity for us. Let's see if the adjustments are going to be the exact same thing, because now we're seeing that BSE, yeah, see, right? The Claude ban is maintained despite being on blue side.
So we're gonna see the exact or some similar picks. The Yuzhong 2 still open for both sides. That's been banned earlier, if I'm not mistaken.
Your team
I will
Yeah.
be the truth
There you
this
go.
world desperately needs.
This is turning out to be the exact same draft, right? If not, at least the exact same bands.
Yeah. Even though they switch sides, it's still
It's so,
the same priorities.
except for this. I think this was on the blue side earlier.
Yeah.
Yes.
Hmm.
Ban out Eve.
I think
Just get rid of it.
yeah, just get rid of it.
Let's just get rid of it.
So that leaves the
the priority
Juicin
of shit.
open.
Oh, you're right. Jushin is wide open. Oh, that kind of sucks. Okay, you know what? You ban out the Jushin. You give over Farsa, Eve. You choose, and then we pick artillery mage, or just Gato jungler.
Turns out. So it's gone. So
Red Tail's been itching
Oh,
for a
okay.
real fight.
they open up both.
Also-
Yeah. So because if whatever Black Sentence picks, the other one just goes. Lance first, knowing that it's just gonna be a fight between Eve and Jushin in terms of the mid prio.
All right, Carl TZ. Let's see how it's gonna go, man.
Yeah.
Like, this is very bold. Even the goat himself locked it in and dropped the game when it mattered. So Hilda, yep.
Look at that.
What you get for prioritizing Lancelot.
Okay.
Easiest two picks, CG.
Should we see?
Everyone for.
Should we see Gatot now? Or maybe I don't think you'd want to throw either. in this game.
Honestly, hot take, maybe pick up the blue early on.
Get
Can't latch on
blue
the E.
Hawk Aerial Assault Unit
Don't latch
awaiting
on to
orders.
the hill.
Still I lost.
I don't think it's a bad idea, but I think that it will suffer in the second half, because then you can really start to pinch down on your opponents. It kind of depends whether they committed to it or not, but high loss carry, I think is really safe.
Also, there are a lot of much better EXP winners open. The Lapu Lapu's house is still open.
Yeah.
Remember, the Lapu Lapu would be more than happy to go up against a lineup that has a
Experience the
glue.
youth.
Ranger for CG, so now this time they're going to be playing the Black Sentence back line of focused lineup.
Wow.
Take out the Jushin, and now Shin might actually run out of heroes here. Just to even add more to it, CG just straight up bans Farsa, and then now Shin is going to have to play something like a
Lunox.
Kimi or a Lunox. Or a Valentina if he's up for it, but then,
There needs to be a bigger reason other than just RW.
yeah.
There has to be a bigger reason. Baxia is going to get banned out this time around. Okay, so with the high loss and the carry, it just means that CG is very unlikely to go for a jungler who is that's going to be super dive centric. Maybe with the only exception of like maybe high loss and arguably a Joy, because Gary probably felt really good after game number 1. But other than that, there's not a lot of mobility to actually work with this point and click stun if they stand just next to the high loss.
Trading in the mid might be difficult here for Black Sentence, considering that Chico has the Eve.
Oh my goodness.
That is actually a Shin favorite pick.
So
So-
they're okay with the Farsa and
Considering that the red 4 pick, even if they just decide to show, okay, we'll just pick up a hero here right now that can just easily dive the Farsa, then they're fine with it.
yeah. That's right.
Either way, it feels like CG has already kind of won the draft here. Yeah, the Joy finally
Makes
gets
sense.
banned out. Now it's going to be purely based on it's going to be purely based on the performance of Gary. I mean, he can go for Yishin Shin if he wants to, and it still wouldn't be much of an issue for him. They could go for, Hayabusa seems really safe, but I think easily, do they want to reveal where this Hilda is the question.
I'm okay with it. Pick up an EXP now, reveal the Hilda at Rome, and then adjust your jungler, whether it's going to be the Hayabusa as the last assassin, or you suddenly swerve and you go Fredrin. So you have a tank jungler. Yes, you're up against a carry, but then you only pick that up if you don't see something like the Kimmy or anything that could really give it difficulty. If you want to play solely or on your Granger and Eve, because if they also go assassin here early on, that's 3 carries already. So they show it, they'll go for EXP,
That's such a great pick.
which is exactly why they go Vengeance. It makes sense now to actually pick up the Fredrin as their last pick if it can actually go well with whatever Black Sentence finals picks here.
Oh,
Yeah, very, very interesting here. Now, Esmeralda will eventually come to a point where the Esme outscales the CC, but it really depends on what the CC's build is, right? Because CC becomes a lot less tanky and has scalable damage, assuming that you have access to things like Hunter Strike, things like, obviously, War Axe, but most importantly, having access to Sea Halberd, right? Once you get that Sea Halberd on top of the Hunter Strike, then you've got a pretty decent chance. But there we go. Finally, the Nulok shows up right at the very end. You don't need to do anything crazy anymore.
So much shred, maybe. Yeah.
I would
Fredrin's gonna
say
So hold
yeah.
on.
Fredrin, after the Lunox showed up, it's like, yeah, this is really tough for Fred, so just go for the Lunox, and then you get damage. Excuse me, Nolan, and then you get the damage. So a lot of options for CG Esports in terms of their damage department. They can play through their Eve, their Granger, their Nolan. Their CC has some great link up as well.
Yep.
But for Black Sentence, it's very honest for both. Quite too honest, maybe, but maybe we're going to see another kill fest between the two. Lineup rating favors CG in terms of the late game.
Yeah, I'm loving CG's lineup
Excuse me, early
because
game.
of the CZ op CGCC, the CC and the
The CGCC,
yeah,
yes.
the CGCC. It's just because it feels like it's so easy to use the curtain call
Yeah.
in this scenario, and it soft counters the land a lot, and it just like makes things so much more difficult. Even if you want to go run over towards your opponent. So
Smash them.
let's see how BSE could potentially turn things around here.
Welcome to
He's
Mobile
not
Even though
worried.
it was mentioned in the first phase of
What-
the draft, it was already quite.
Why do you sound so worried? I mean, they've got a chance to even it out 1-1. It's anybody's game. And yes, CG may look quote unquote cleaner, but it doesn't mean that it's a guaranteed win. BSE, if they get like an early first blood, this is going to get a lot harder.
Oh, but wait, that early first blood might actually be balanced if he did not use the flicker there. So now we see the revitalize
Mhm.
effect.
It's a little bit too eager to take that trade in the center, huh?
It's a trade, but look at Shin. He is making sure that he is putting the hurt onto Jiku, right? Every single time. Like, Jiku, as much as he can poke out Shin, he's just healing off the wave every time, which Jiku cannot do.
Very easy for a Lunox to self-sustain at the center. Also, maybe one of the best that you can do to pack up against an Eve. Still, Valens wants to fight this. Can easily get movement speed for himself, but without a flicker, he'll need to be a little bit more tactical of when he decides to take those fights.
Yeah, because again, even if they try to go for the all-in, there's a very good chance that Shin actually wins out in the fight because there's just more bodies that he could heal off of. Jiku just doesn't have the raw burst damage just yet, right? Let's not forget that even for Steffe, that Revitalize, very low cooldown. It's already 19 seconds before it's off. That maybe could potentially save somebody else's life. I am curious about the top side, though. Is Ye3 winning the lane as hard as he possibly can?
Seems like he's somehow forcing Orochi to not overextend as much. And the fact that Gary too is currently over there. But it seems like they're going to change their priorities a bit. They want to go for the mid lane, but instead Balance will be the first to fall. First blood for Black Sentence, and it's Haidon Bush who gets it.
Yep. Balance was probably hoping that he could live a little bit longer there, but just the raw damage coming in from Hide on Bush gonna be enough to take him out. On top of Shin, let's not forget Shin.
A much better start for Black Sentence here. And Shin,
Gary?
speaking of Shin, finds Gary. And now instead, Amzik will be the one to trade things out. Steffe though, oh no. CG Esports 2 will find 2.
Oh, that was so dangerous. Thank God Amzik checked that and saw the light wheel coming out. That would have been an awful way to die.
Doom would have been ready. Let's look at the hand cam brought to us by the Realme 15 Pro 5G, the M7 official gaming phone. Highlight onto Hide on Bush, who was able to get the first turn of the game and now dash in and out in this one. Shin
Chiku forced to flicker out. Black Sentence are dealing with Valence really, really well so far. It's like they're not afraid to throw out their damage.
Yep, they shouldn't be because, again, they have a lot of ways to actually maintain themselves in this fight. And let's not forget that Valence, his debuff for the Power Wilderness is all based off of, hey, are you using armor? Does my mid laner use armor? No. So literally he's getting a net nothing from it, other than maybe Amzik and arguably even Gary. So every time you see Gary, Ye3, or even Amzik looking for maybe an entrance in, Valence is going to be your trigger finger.
Amzik now double laning here. Just to speed up his farming process. He does have a lead over the carry, floating around 400 to 500 gold.
He's got to be patient. They got to be extremely patient because those first items, especially when you start developing a 2-point lead, the neutral objectives suddenly become uncontestable.
Yeah, and their rotations can be an opening for Black Sentence once again, since Steffi and Shin are not really letting go of this river control, and they've been constantly trying to burst down members of CG Esports who passed through. But fortunately, they regain control of it, though, and force out a reaction somehow from Steffi.
Valence just man-to-man marking this guy. Okay.
Okay, so glorious pathway and the real world manipulation both used at the same time. Chiku actually takes the turtle for CG Esports, and now they're trying to look for the kills as well. Steffi goes down, but so does Chiku. Orochi dealing so much damage and zoning. Hydon Bush will show himself up, and now CG will disengage.
Oh,
Gary.
Oh my goodness!
oh yeah! Nicely done by Gary. He understood that somebody was going to walk down. The high likelihood that it was going to be either maybe Shin or, in this case, Doom, he got him for sure. Wait.
They
No.
actually want to go for Orochi. Oh, Falling Star Moon lands onto
What?
both of them, though. Valence has to run away!
No!
Now the flicker finishes off the kill.
Wow. Orochi 1v2s that.
Yeah, that's
Who would have guessed?
Esmeralda, right? We can handle him. Don't worry about the shield that you get for yourself, Hilda. It'll be okay.
I don't know what the decision there was, but I think they kind of forgot how this hero works. But that's fine. That's fine. This is just a lethal reminder not to put your shields in front of Esme.
Yeah, I have a feeling that CG Esports was way too greedy in getting Amzik another Sky, or getting Amzik a Sky Piercer stack, because he built up the Sky Piercer before that turtle. So that means Valence was probably like, "Hey, Amzik, you want to get this guy? He's an Esmeralda. He's really low. You want to stack, bro?"
Dude,
Of course, Amzik. He's like, you can't blame him for saying, "Oh yeah, please, I want to stack."
that sounds like a great idea. I'm 1 in 3.
Oh. Would be fooled, and now Valence gets slowed so much.
Bro.
Nowhere to run for the Hilda. Ye3
Oh.
all alone here, uses the
Oh.
Vengeance, tries to take on Doom, but now he sees Shin and Steffi running after him. Fortunately, there's no glorious pathway anymore, and with the Cyclone Eye, where is he planning to go?
Keep running circles.
Oh,
Just give it to the tower, yeah, 3.
He's gonna go for an
Oh.
execute. Wait, can he go for an execute? No, he went back into combat. Yeah, now he's dead here no matter what.
Yeah.
He
Uh,
sort of tried dealing with the waves before going down, but
honestly, it's not a bad idea, right? Because now the waves, especially on top side, is going to be on a slow push in favor of
Yeah.
CG.
Actually, it all worked out in the end. Even though he decided to give the kill away to a member of CG instead of just giving it to the minions.
Brilliance forced out. Real world manipulation once again. Steffi using it to slow everyone down, and Black Sentence secures the turtle. Amzik 2 forced to flicker out. Great response from Black Sentence so far.
I don't like the risks that CG Esports are taking. They were posturing for a 4v5 without Ye3, and they didn't have the key positions on the map to actually find the fight in the first place. Keep in mind, Amzik is going to be the main win condition other than Chiku, who wants to poke out his targets.
Yeah, Chiku hasn't had a similar game compared to game number 1, for sure. Black Sentence have handled this even better. Look at Shin again!
They're going for the dive. Thorned Rose, another puncture in, but there's a stun! Now Hydon Bush goes down. Falling Star Moon targeting Valence. He's in the bush, but it's not gonna matter. Now Ye3 and Amzik trying to work on Orochi. He's running away. There is a decent amount of damage, but it's not gonna be enough. It's an Esmeralda that gets to escape.
The most painful thing about that is that Black Sentence couldn't even get the last hit on the tower that they needed.
Yeah.
That hurts.
It hurts. I was like, man, that tower's got to go at some point. Nah, still going to be alive, but they're going to lose and trade a tower down on the bot side. That's going to be another T1 missing. Top and a bottom gone. In terms of items, though, I'm waiting for Gary to get to that point where he starts one-shotting targets, right? And I think he's almost there. The big issue right now is the fact that these boots are saving certain people. Doom, he's basically going to get one-shot no matter what, but this Esmeralda is kind of untouchable.
Who else could deal with it? I mean, Hamzik was trying.
They need Chico to get a wishing lantern first.
Oh. Now Orochi shows up.
Chico needs a wishing lantern and a divine glade, because eventually Orochi's going to get a radiant armor, right?
Oh, now they burst Orochi down! Wait! But with a flicker, he's actually able to stay alive! Gary instead will be the casualty of that fight. Balance going in. Yay 3-2 using the curtain call and the yo-yo blitz. But all that for Gary.
Yeah, the Steph is stunned, man. The high loss.
Blue team
What can you
turret has
do?
been
What
destroyed.
can you do? Honestly, they got pretty close to bursting him down. Luckily, the Dreadnought armor really negates like a good chunk of that on top of the extra stun coming in from Steffe. But at this point, I think that CG Esports need to identify... Wait, hold on.
Oh, they're going for Valence this time around. Valence has turned away, but with the Glorious Pathway, he gets slowed so much. Okay, another flicker forced out of Amzik, and it seems like Black Sentence are in control so far. Ye3 has the curtain call. Does he use it already? He does, but without their retribution, they do not get to secure the objective. Now they're just trying to go for the chase. They will deny this purple buff. And that's about it for CG Esports.
Yep, that's as good as it gets. If they can get this mid-tier one, I think even better.
Oh! And they get Orochi too. I think that's way better for CG Esports.
Dang, Amzik is slick with it. Like, I knew he was slick with it back at MPL MY, but on an international stage, it's looking real good.
Yeah, 2-0 and 5. Black Sentence got the Lord, but they lost a lot out of that one.
Uh-oh.
It's a question of can they even make something out of it. Gary not getting chased.
Shit is here too, and there are minions. There's no way out if you were Gary.
There's so many arguments that could be made right now, but for now, CG just need to defend, right? They just need to minimize the economical damage. They created small leads, but now that the structures are going to start falling down, that should put them at like, what, at 800? Yep, down to 500 now as they look for mid-tier 1.
Oh, Lefty.
Don't let them, don't let them.
Another beautiful
Shit
Gorgeous
again.
Pathway, but from the sides. The damage from Shin and Doom are a bit too much for CG Esports to deal with. Not when they're frontliners, not when Valence gets bullied so much on this Hilda, even before he gets to do anything.
Latin America's brightest talent in a long time. 3-1 and 6. The entries have been perfect, and we felt it all throughout. Even in the early game, that Lunox, the timing, all so good.
And to keep on finding these timings, CG really need to start tightening up the way they play around the map because they just assume that they move faster, therefore they're not going to make it there in time. But these interceptions, now that the mid-tier one, that the tier ones on top and bottom are missing, they need space with the mid-T1 to be destroyed. That's when you have full access to enemy jungle. That's when you have more aggressive jungle pathings to be able to get to places without getting punished too hard.
Because it seems like at this point, Black Sentence have found ways to deal with the potential threat of a Hilda or the pressure that they could expect from a Hilda. There's no hesitation whatsoever for Shin if they get to find him all alone.
Yeah.
And you get to poke him low enough, and it's like that's what matters, because then you take out the frontliner for CG Esports, and that leaves you with what? Yeah, 3, the CC. And that's pretty much a decent target for whoever your damage dealers are right now too.
Yeah, I think they were really able to set the story here after what they were able to do in Valence during the laning phase. They handled the Hilda really well. They forced the flicker out early. First turtle comes up, and without the flicker, the Hilda fell down very quick.
Yeah.
So now through that, they know that, okay, what could have been a Hilda snowball has already been managed. We're handling the lane really well. So let's look at the top 5 banned heroes for the M7 Swiss stage so far. Of course, Juicing up there, constantly banned and contested here, but a 40% ban rate. If he's not banned, most likely the Juicing gets picked up. But this is a really good picture of what teams see as some of the best. Fanny, a year later, is still up there in the most banned. M6, same case.
It will always be there. The kid is diverse, and the kid has such a high level of skill expression that no numbers will really change the fact that she can be across the map in less than a minute.
Especially with the changes in terms of the energy so far, the regeneration. So when you see games where the Fanny's on the losing end and they just defend miraculously because of the repetitive cabling over the crystal. So yeah, I think there have been a lot more highlights for the Fanny recently because of the changes.
Yeah.
You know what's crazy about Fanny? They keep increasing the ceiling, but players easily maybe give it like a 2 or 3 weeks. It's like, all right, no, we're good. We're still back. It still feels like Fanny hasn't been touched at all. There are no nerfs. What do you mean nerfs? It was just something just happened.
Well, the thing about Fanny at the very least is that I feel that there's enough skill expression where the scaling just depends on how well you execute at the end of the day, right? Like, it's clearly designed in a way you want to play mid to early. If you happen to get into the late game, you're going to have to like really go above and beyond to try and make that happen. But now we're coming to the end of the technical pause. It looks like everything has been settled. Thank you to Gary once again for settling that real quick for PSE's side. Let's jump back into the game real soon here. I want to see how this breaks out, right? Because Lunox is such a huge problem. Now that she's already got 2 items in the bag, like any tanks walking up is going to get poked out harder than Chiku can apply pressure.
Speaking of tanks, I don't think Balance has a magic defense item yet.
Oh, no, he does not.
Oh yeah, so he only has the Chastise and the Dominance Ice.
But you do get magic defense from the Dumb Eyes, so
Oh yeah,
should be okay. Take 40 apiece, if I'm not mistaken.
I mean, it's not much when you're up against the Lunox. That's
True.
the big issue, right? It doesn't matter how much MR you actually have. Other than the Athena shield, it kind of feels a little sad.
So at this point, would you rather build the Athena shield or the Radiant armor?
You kind of need a little bit of both, right? Because the Radiant armor makes sense when you're fighting Orochi, but the Athena
Yeah.
shield is particularly good for Shin because once you're in that darkening form, you're machine gunning. If you're not machine gunning, you're wasting time.
yeah. Especially if they go in for the surprise, because you never know. At this point, Shin might not even care about Balance anymore. Just go for a big play.
Oh, Shin. Speaking of Shin, you just mentioned now has a Divine Glaive, so it's not going to be a fun time for Balance at all. At this point, he's wishing that he has the Athena shield. Even Year 3 doesn't really have magic defense per se in like the most rawest, purest form. Everyone on the side of CG is just going to fall down quickly to Shin's Lunox if they cannot get it down quickly.
Much better game for Shin. Year 3 doesn't use the curtain call just yet, but that was a great dodge that we saw from Hydon Bush. Are they forcing a fight here before the Lord?
No, they're probing. They're probing for a reaction against Black Sentence, right? If they get too caught up in the probing, then they're going to take that fight, and CG is more than happy to start peeling away because they've got plenty of peel with Chiku guys alone. Oh my god.
Great poke. Great poke from Amzik.
By the way, he has not died yet. He does have a single stack on that Sky Piercer.
Yeah.
From his second kill. That can easily just start chaining. Black Santas needs to watch it.
Oh, Barry tries bursting down Orochi, but now they just decide to go for it. There's the glorious pathway of the falling star moon. Year 3 forced to use the vengeance as well. But every single one of CG Esports is still alive. The real world gets cancelled. Gary tries to go for Shin, but the damage is not enough. Fortunately, Year 3 finishes it off, but I'm sick all alone. How is he able to do this? Orochi's chasing after him, but he still has the flicker. That's a 2-for-3 trade so far.
Amzic's out of bullets here, but he'll be able to get back to base. Meanwhile, it's Lancelot and Carry. It's Hide on Bush, Doom, and Orochi able to secure this Lord for Black Sentence. Orochi stands in front of the Death Sonata, and now CG will have to defend with his Lord push.
I think Balance has to get on top of Orochi. I think he has to put the debuff onto Orochi to allow Amzik to actually deal some relevant damage, because right now Chiku is just not cutting it. Look at the way that this fight actually plays out, right? Chiku is point blank in their faces with the RWM. It's a great angle, don't get me wrong, but you put yourself in such a dangerous spot that both Stefe alongside with Orochi is able to do whatever they want. They had their way with him.
So long as Orochi's there, CG is always going to have a problem.
It's going to be a bigger problem if they just leave it be. What else? Where's Chiku currently at? He's already got the Divine Glaive and the Wishing Lantern. It's not that like he doesn't have enough damage.
His front line, dude. Front line is falling down way too quick.
They just need to peel slowly. Just let your boy Chico do the work, right? Let him walk up. Let him try and get those void blasts down. Let him get those procs.
Uh, They'll be defending this lore down bottom first, but they decide to commit so much shit also going in. And look at the amount of damage that they're able to deal. Real World to stop them though. Curtain Call coming in from Ye3 alongside the Vengeance, but they cannot find any kills. It's only Orochi that goes down. They're probably gonna be happy with that, and they're gonna try to look for more, but Black Sentence don't wanna fight.
You can see how hesitant Gary is. He's like, I could go further. Dash Retro, get him, Amzik.
I really thought he bounced after getting that retro off. It's like, oh, he just wanted to get the slow. Oh no, he actually really doesn't want to.
I don't want to go in, Chief.
I don't want to do this, man.
Amzik's
Way too risky.
Dude, I can only imagine that Amzik, he's a really humble, really nice kid.
Yeah.
But imagine if Chiku's good old like toxic goal laner traits rub off on him. He's screaming at Gary, jump him! Why are you scared? Die for me!
CG, though, were able to defend that well. Black Sentence got as good as it could get. For sure, they wanted to get that mid tower too, but they ran out of the minions, and with how CG were defending, they needed to back off. Amzik now has 2 stacks on the Sky Piercer that still, I mean, it's not as bad as like having more than 50, but still, it's 2 stacks to work with.
Yay, Valence also has the Athenas now.
Oh, he should be able to survive a little bit
A
more.
little bit.
But Shin has been positioning very well in the fights. Chico having a really hard time reaching the Lunox with the real world manipulation.
This is so sad. He's participated in so many fights. Only 20 stacks, 7 assists. Feels bad. I mean, a lot of it just comes down to Orochi and Stefe just blocking a majority of the shots. There's so many times where it's like, oh, somebody's down to 1 HP, and Gary's like, man, I really don't want to die for this, but I have to.
Oh, Steppe again as the target.
Whoa!
Unfortunately, gets to dash away from the glorious pathway. Now the Wind of Nature is forced
Hello?
off. Chico, Amzik, 2 crucial players get taken down by Black Sentence even before the fight is able to happen. Valence, Ye3, and Gary, they're the only ones left to defend this incoming siege. Doom! Every single member of Black Sentence is still alive. Shin goes in once again, not even with the Athena shield. Can Valence survive this? Black Sentence are bringing us to a game 3.
Nicely done by Black Sentence, really taking advantage of the disrespect coming in from Valence, and most importantly, took advantage of a Lunox. Yes, she does so much burst damage. Hide in a couple of bushes. Take him out. Put him behind. That's what you want to see.
Future looking bright here for Black Sentence. And for Latin America, they force CG, the runner-ups, to MPL Malaysia Season 16, all the way to 3 games. Again, this is an elimination match. If CG wins this, maybe to some, to most, as expected. If Black Sentence wins this, this could be the most high-profile win of a Latin American team in the M Series after a very long time. Shin was excellent on this Lunox.
Really, really great stuff coming in from BSE. Throughout this entire fight, we had to make sure that a lot of the members, the one thing I don't get here is why is Valence just kind of watching him? He's just like looking at him. It's just like, what am I going to do? I feel like he already used his abilities, which is why he didn't really participate. He had no ult, wasn't able to get mini stuns off as well. Would have liked him to actually try and just, die for it, but even so, at the end of it all, there's just more scaling on the side of BSE in comparison to CG.
You can see how their comms are going. They knew that they had it already. The moment that we weren't able to see the value out of the Hilda disrupting as much of BSE and their early rotations, things started to get or look a bit sideways. Chico, it's not like all of the attention was onto Chico anymore even. I feel like majority of the attention in the early stages of the game fell onto Valence. And that was so difficult for CG here because Valence was such a crucial player to set the tempo and to start things off for CG, but he got picked off like how many times in a row?
He got bodied, man. He got put in his place.
Wow. CG, I'm pretty sure they were thinking that, hey, guys, good ride here. We'll be able to get it with the sweep. Cool. After what happened game number 1, I don't see much from Black Set, and suddenly gets turned around after them, which is funny because considering the bans that they went for were really just focusing so hard into what the Rome mid trio can do. They took out Garak, Kalea, Juice, and Selena, 4 heroes devoted just for the Rome mid alone, and then of course use man.
And they knew
Just put it there.
and they knew they were responding to a Lancelot first pick.
Yeah.
Everything looked like it was going so well.
I think that the wrench in the plans had to be the Hilda, right?
Yeah.
I think that was the biggest blunder there throughout the entirety of the draft.
Like, who would have thought, like, how they started it off with Valens getting forced out of the flicker and him dying in Turtle 1 just started a chain of events, which led to this, Shin going 5-2 and 9. Because after that initial trade, with Valens no longer being able to comfortably front for the Eve during the next little bits of laning before they have to go around this person and try to control the river, it meant that Chico was lagging behind, and then eventually Shin was able to comfortably find kills, get farm alongside Stefan.
Yep. And it's not just Shin that you got to worry about. Even Doom, right? So you have 2 possible people who basically just melt you down like butter, and yet you have to be the one that actually opens up the map. Because if Chico does it, Shin's just going to darkening forward and just blast him and force out a flicker, right? At the end of it all, I think that Orochi caused way too many problems for this team. And there was a really good argument for Amzik to not be on this Granger and actually play for a Trinity-style marksman like Moskov. But let's really break down this game. Some of the major moments that we see really came down to the early fights, because honestly, I gotta give it to BSE. They played one hell of a game. They fixed their early a lot. Their neutral objective controls, huge A+. But I think they now are really taking advantage of the draft to hurt CG. Do not give them heroes that scale that well. If you need a snowball hero like Granger, it's okay. As long as we kill him one time within the period of 8 minutes while he has Sky Piercer, you reset him back to basically nothing. But as these fights continue to progress, notice the shape of the fights. They're always fighting in enemy territory. They want to make sure that they're really close to at least one of these lanes. So maybe Hide on Bush could either charge down their targets, utilizing that wave, or better yet, just chasing the entire team down. Which is why we see, as much as CG wants to play from many different angles, from top side to bottom side, doesn't matter. If they split apart, it's a tough fight. If they stick together, it's just more value for BSE.
Even during moments like this, Hide on Bush 2 was a bit too free during this entire game. The fact that they got to force out the flicker early and denied balance of the potential invades, Hide on Bush got to complete the farming rotations that he wanted to. And all his entries too were very much on point throughout this entire game. Like whenever he just wanted to dive in and look for Chico, I think Chico mainly was the guy who just couldn't settle with the real world manipulation unlike he did in the previous game because of this Lancelot.
Well, I mean, he also isn't like 6-1 by like 8 minutes. That's also another pretty big factor. But besides that, I really think that there was a bit of a blunder coming down to the drafting phase specifically. You're preempting for an instant counter onto a potential Lancelot when really every time you see these Hildas in these bad matchups, what's the counterplay? Just have a support that just clears faster than your opponents and then just move your dudes down. You get pulled back by like, what, 4 seconds on the delay, maybe 6 seconds if you get reset? Doesn't matter. Those 6 seconds are saved as soon as your mid laner shows up. It helps you full clear.
It's one of those games where you really get to see why us casters love to put a lot of focus into the mid priority.
Yes.
Who gets to clear minion waves faster, who forces out battle spells first during the first 3 to 4 minion waves at the center of the map, because you get this. These are the kind of results that you get, wherein theoretically the Hilda should be able to mess up the lineup that has the Lancelot. If it's not the Lancelot he's messing up, it's easy for the Hilda to access Shin, access Doom, because Orochi and Steffe have to spend a little bit more time going forward, the glorious pathway forward. But then what if the Hilda suddenly struggles because they messed up in the first few minion waves? This is what you get.
Exactly. And I think the biggest adjustment for the side of CG is when they start to divide their resources. Because I feel like there were so many moments where they could have done that. They could have just sent Gary up to the top side, and after that, send Valens down to the bottom side, and whoever gets a kill, it's like, it's great. We want one of the side laners to be strong.
I guess one of the ways they tried was the double laning and all that for Amzik, but like since it was all on Amzik now, it's a bit too hard to continue and pull off.
So now we're actually going to have an interview with someone who was actually a member of Influence or Rage. It's Papa Dog. He's an EXP laner. Now he's here with Black Sentence. And I believe he's actually here to help guide the team. Let's learn a little bit more about what's he doing here.
Hey guys, Rose here. Right now I'm outside of Black Sentence's player room to have a little bit of a chat with Papa Dog, one of their subs. Hello, how are you right now? That was a very intense game too.
Bueno, tengo una sensación muy intensa, la verdad, fue una gran partida. Perdimos la primera, ganamos la segunda, ahora viene la tercera partida que seguramente va a ser muy emocionante.
The first match was very difficult, but the second one we came very hot. So let's see what is going to happen in the third one.
Yeah, just now I was passing by. I managed to look at the player room of CG Esports. They look quite intense. They look very stressed and like really focused. And then when I took a peek at Black Sentence's player room, the players were just chilling on the sofa as if a do or die match is not currently happening. How are they so chill?
Bueno, el clima está muy tranquilo, la verdad que los chicos están muy contentos, saben que es una victoria, estamos 1-1, es una serie muy importante. Es importante siempre después de cada partida, independientemente de ganar o perder, resetear la mente y enfocarse en la siguiente partida.
They are very chill, very happy. They know the importance of the next match, but they are going to play and going to win it.
Yeah, I could also understand that maybe discipline was also something that they have implemented in the game just now, right? Back then, just now, after game one, it was a very crucial game, right? What did you guys do in the player room to make sure that they had what it takes to bounce back better for game two? Was there any discussion that happened? Anything at all?
Es importante, creo que después de una derrota, animarnos todos mutuamente porque somos un equipo y saber que lo que pasó en una partida se queda en esa partida y a comenzar la otra partida porque es un nuevo comienzo y es otro comienzo.
Like they got a peppy rally, they talked a lot because what happened in the first game stay in the past. They got focused in the second one, and that happened.
Yeah, we leave the previous game just as it is, just where it is supposed to stay at, which is the past. Okay, now let's talk a little bit about your players. We know that Shin and Orochi are new in the pro scene, of course, as a mentor and of course as somebody who's a little older than them. How do you advise them mentally or, anything at all?
Sí, siempre intento transmitir la confianza y mi experiencia a lo que es dentro del competitivo, transmitirle que más allá de todo, siempre en cada juego den el 100% de ello y sobre todo que se diviertan, ¿no? Porque al final de cabo, si estás acá es porque amas el juego.
One thing that's very important is give like 100% of him in every single match. That's for him the most important thing.
I agree, 110% is always very, very much needed in every game. Now, as we dive into the final game of this series, it's literally a best of one at this rate. Is there any advices or anything you want to say to the boys inside the player room?
Que lo den todo y se diviertan.
But basically, he's saying to have fun.
Yes, just have fun. As intense as the game is, always remember to have fun. You know what? Thank you so much. Thank you. I wish you guys the very best of luck in this last game of your series. In a potential do or die match, there's nothing we could do except for head into this game. CG versus Black Sentence. You didn't use your mic.
Gracias, Rosa. Imagine if we were Latam and then we could just hear about Rosa.
I wish. I really wish I could just go verbatim, word
Yeah.
for word, be able to translate everything.
Yeah, me encanta saber de ti, Papa Dog. Great to hear from Papa Dog as always. Brigida here with Gideon. And now it's time for us to talk about some more friends. This is my favorite portion of doing this every time, every year. Secret Lab.
Okay, are you gonna do it? Are you gonna do it?
Gideon always has the banger ones. For
No, I
Secret
mean
Lab,
the.
so
What?
Oh wait,
Oh,
wait,
what?
what happened?
Oh my
What
God, be
happened?
careful.
Wait, wait.
Brigida.
Oh, it seems that you've reduced the chair down to its
Oh, yeah.
minimum size with the Secret Lab Titan Evo. Wait
you
for
doing?
ergonomics. Yeah, go for it.
Oh, you
go
can
for
go
it.
for it. That was what I was asking.
Okay.
Okay, look at him. Look at him.
Wait, someone else join
Okay.
doing this.
Oh, you can do
Brigida-
it. You can do it. You can do it.
Wait,
It's
Go
okay.
wide. Go wide. I'll do it. I'll do it.
Okay, fine.
He's got it. For the elite stage, for friends climbing to Mythic, Secret Lab can elevate your game with tournament-grade ergonomic support. The very same kind that powers the pros on the elite stage. So scan the QR code and pick one up for yourself here today. Because I've been sitting on these Secret Labs for 11 years. 11 years. I got to bring that photo. It shows clearly I was sitting on a Secret Lab.
Yeah, maybe at this point, if you had the Secret Lab 11 years ago, I mean, it's just the natural course of time that things would degrade. It would be an Ecrit lab at this point. But no, Secret Labs, sturdy as all hell, still going strong. And hey, if you're a Granger main, we saw it. Granger starting to make a little bit of a
Yay.
comeback here in the M series. You can get his new Thunder Ascendant skin available right now. Unlock the M7 pass and it's yours immediately. So get it today. That's only like the starter skin for him because of course we have the
yep.
prime skins.
Yes, the prime skins with the crowns and the wings, as we've also previously seen in the game. So with this true prestige with Granger's new prime skin, this beauty is waiting for you at level 75 of the M7 pass. So unlock the pass and start grinding today because level 75 is no joke. It's but you can get like the support chest.
It costs so much. It costs so like I think most people don't realize the amount of diamonds you actually have to spend. And the thing is, it's not a fixed amount. You get like an RNG amount of EXP, which is really annoying sometimes because you might have to use 3.5 to get there. Sometimes you have to use 7K.
Yeah, well, the pass though encourages you to play with your friend.
Yeah,
So
that's
if
the
you
best
can
way.
group up, like a party of 3, and then you're good.
Yeah,
That's the best way. To do it.
depends on which rank you're in,
Or if you have no friends.
or depending on what timing it is. Because if you start grinding 5-man in the beginning of the season, I don't know. I
Yeah.
personally don't like it.
You know what the secrets to friend is?
What?
Friends is? What the secret to friend is?
What's that?
What do you call that? Just drag a random in, and then add them. That's how you get friends.
Oh.
I'm too I'm too antisocial to do that. I don't even play the game with chat anymore. I completely deny the chat. I don't
Auto-mute,
care. I
auto-mute,
just play the
auto-mute.
game. Yeah, just mute everything. If you can talk to me, talk through pings. I don't want to hear anything else.
Really?
Yep. Because
But
there's
that's the fun part.
Nah, I just hear a lot of dumb advice like, "Oh, we need to target this guy." I'm like, "No, you don't. What are you, brain dead? Like, come on, let's think about this. Come on, we're better than this."
Hey, tag your friend who says map in all chat, but then he's actually the guy not looking at the map. You know?
Yeah, he's like 0-7.
Guys, map. What do you mean, guys, map? You keep shoving your lane. Of course, you're gonna die 7 times.
Oh, that's too funny. That's too funny. But I think there's a couple of adjustments that we need to address here because again, we saw the side swap. The draft bans have to change, please. Unless the map reveal here gives us a different idea. I'm like, River? No, not River. Broken Walls. All right.
Again.
Sure, Broken Walls. Let's take it. Okay. So at least with Broken Walls, we should have a pretty linear line of drafting. But whoever's on the red side has suffered so far.
Elimination is what is at stake. Tournament life at stake. CG and Black Sentence. The drafts have to be on point here. Great start. Take away the claw. Don't want to see that. CG. Take away the Grok, Yuzong. You don't want those aggro heroes that can just snowball out of control. Question for Black Sentence. Are you willing to give the Eve again? Or are you happy with the Lunox as being your answer?
Yeah. Or does CG even want to?
I think they should keep to the exact same draft as game number 1 if this is going to be the exact same pattern. Because the onus right now is on BSE to be like, oh yeah, we messed up by locking in the Hilda early.
And juice it if it's not again. Wouldn't be too surprised based on the way things are going in this game. The Sora gets taken out too. else was banned previously?
Butterflies.
Now they
falling
take
by
out
the
the
way.
juice in.
Yeah.
Uh,
Will Black Sentence open up the Kalea or ban it out? If ever, though, they ban the Kalea, then Fanny will be open. So it's up to Black Sentence to choose what kind of draft environment we're going to find ourselves in. It'll be so funny if Fanny gets opened up and just does not get looked at.
Yes.
Straight up, just ignored.
Fanny,
I know Gary has a Fanny, but I don't remember whether it was like a really mean Fanny just yet, because usually Fanny priorities come later
Yeah.
down the line unless the draft is pretty dictated where it's like, oh, we don't have Cho, you don't have Cleo, you have literally nothing to worry about other than the Brock.
Oh, what? The carry gets cryo pick. This does Black Sentence have it in them too?
What are we smoking here? What is happening? What is happening? Is somebody like in front of the smoke machine just inhaling? Why was this necessary?
I am.
Because the Eve Fanny is open, so
Even if Eve Fanny is open, I think their biggest issue was scaling the last time, and they're like, okay, since Chiku can play Farsa, can play Eve, can also play Lunox, we can't. I'm sorry, Zik, you played a strong regular season, but you gotta play carry.
Shot. BSC will just pick up the Lancelot right away. They got the Eve. 2 power picks.
if only I could explain their faces when the carry got locked in, but I can't.
All right, Chiku, you gotta lock in Lunox, right? You don't have a choice now. You kind of put yourself in this position here.
Chill, I'm just sipping a hot cup of Red Bull. So it's all good.
Why is it hot? Why is it hot, sir?
I like it. Don't ask.
It's how I got it.
It's how I get wings.
All right. What else could you potentially punish? The Lancelot is not as punishable unless you want to go for the Hilda again.
Yeah.
So if you go like what, Hilda. No, why? Actually, you know what? Just go for the Gato. It's safer.
Yeah, I prefer the God. Okay, never mind.
I mean, this works too. At the end of the day, you just need somebody to potentially threaten the Eve or make somebody else's life difficult. In this case, it's going to be Doom who has to take Purify.
But the Gatot then can be open for Black Sentence too.
Here's an even sadder thing. We don't see the XP lane matchup yet. I'd want to see Black Sentence open up the possibility of a Phobius so that they could consider themselves whether or not, okay, is CG going to pick up Phobius as one of their last 2, or should we just pick it up ourselves so we don't have to worry about it with the Harris? You already see the Cho, the Traceless, that one single Traceless poke, all of the little Phantom steps carry will take will all trigger the Phobius passive, so that'll be good. I like Phobius with them as red 4, and then if that happens, they might get a slightly better EXP laner, but in the big picture, they will just win. Even Harris together already is something that CG needs to answer right away and find an answer for.
Oh,
I am so nervous right now. This composition for the side of CG is so squishy. Yeah, so very, very squishy compared to BSE. And I think BSE, the only saving grace at this point, right, is who takes the initiative on the fight. Right now with CG, it's clear that they have a spearhead to kind of trigger everything from the side of BSE. They can bait, but the RWM is only going to get unleashed when CG commits to the all-in. There needs to be clearer signs of disengage. There could be another argument here for BSE to go back to playing something along the lines of somebody who has CC, consistent CC in the roam, and then maybe go for the Arlet once more, just for the potential outplay.
and one of the best heroes to potentially tank things, like Esmeralda, is already banned.
Yeah. A lot of the top
Oh, they pick the Euros.
carry, though. I'll say I wanted a little bit more impact. I wanted a little bit more crowd control. Because the roamer options don't really have a lot of crowd control. With Cho, Gatot, Hylos, Grok, Kalea all gone, they're forced, if they want crowd control, they go Batang. But then that's not really what you're looking for here.
Charisma, Lapu.
They used the weren't they the ones used the Akai previously?
Yep.
Akai, there's a Minotaur.
I don't know about the Minotaur. I don't think the Minotaur is going to be as good. Actually,
Right?
it's not the worst thing in the world. The problem is that it's very difficult to like find value. You can out-sustain the RWM. I think this is a much better answer to it. You're gonna RWM. You want to get in my face. You want to fight. I'm a swan song. Swans.
Song. And there's shields from that too, by the way. So.
I don't know. I
think it
think
was
that
press.
I think that this comp is so is like unironically dangerous. But if you take out literally any one of the pieces, it just collapses straight away.
They go chip. It'll be very sad.
You know what? Just get Kaja actually. Oh wait, no. Do they have the raw burst?
Not yet.
Oh,
I
yeah.
literally
I didn't
invented
think
one.
they'd actually go chip because they're up against Undead, but at least they can open up the map. But I think, they really have to decide whether or not going inside the portal is really good or really bad for them.
I mean,
They could have gone for Tigreal. They could have gone for literally any way to cancel out the Swan Song would have been better. Even a Gwen support might have been a potential there. I don't know. This is going to be really, really difficult because the counter index says it all, right? Right now, CG have the better lineup rating and the better counter index. This early to mid game potential coming in for BSE must be utilized right at level 4. It's a 50-50 for a do or die match.
Potential last game of CG, and Chiku, of all people, ends up with a hero that even makes us scratch our heads. But I'm pretty sure everyone is excited to see if Chiku can channel some of that good old CG magic again at the international stage. Meanwhile, Black Sentence, a little bit more familiar, a little bit closer to home. Can they get the most high-profile win of a Latin American team in a long time in the international stage? Game 3, win or go home.
Oh, yeah. I just realized now it is a Hilda EXP
Mm-hmm.
that we're going to be seeing in the hands of Ye3.
Yeah, but I think these earlier stages of the game are going to be really, really important here, especially for EXP priority, right?
Oh.
Because look at Ye3, he can basically fight anybody, and Orochi is unkillable, right? So Ye3 has to find value other than his lane.
That was close. Ye3. Now Black Sentence seems to be acknowledging the fact that they cannot afford to let the Hilda just constantly get out of here. And now they're paying so much attention to Ye3 in the XP lane.
And not only slowing down Year 3, it's that they allow Orochi to get out of lane and actually help hide on push. As sort of like a pseudo roamer early on, as Stefan and the Shin get vision elsewhere.
Oh wait, but he's getting bursted down though. Oh, Ye3
Thinking about it.
thinking about it.
Actually, kind of surprising that Valens didn't actually want to take that fight, or at least like try and flicker for it just to get the empowered auto to maybe take out Orochi, but I think it's better to not risk it at this point, considering that this is a very close fight between the two teams, and the very first neutral objective is about to spawn.
Yeah. Things seem to be a bit more better now. Orochi has no idea. Mountain Shocker's there, but he is okay.
Yeah, and they also use the Mountain Shocker super early, so let's see.
The mid wave doesn't get cleared by CG though. Okay, fortunately CG is already 4. Now Orochi looking at the other members, zoning so much. Oh my goodness, Chico! I don't think he wanted to be there.
No. Gary, give this up. Give this buff up. There's no point fighting for it. It's not worth dying for.
Yeah, just go to your purple buff, you're good. You're not going to be able to get unless miraculous lash out. Oh! Gary, brother, did not expect that, but he still got it.
Literally, 0 loss. 0 EXP loss. Maybe, obviously there's the turtle EXP, but whatever. At least he's not falling behind in terms of his buffs. And I think that's really important considering the EXP changes to the jungle, man. Getting your buffs is so important. So important here. Oh my goodness. How do they play this game? I'm not even 100% sure.
Ooh.
Because look, both Ye3 alongside with Orochi are essentially doing the exact same thing. They're like, who cares about this lane?
Stefan has been getting a lot of... So really, it's Orochi. They still continue it. On this side of the map, they allow the Uranus to be the roamer to get vision, stay front, while cutting lanes, while managing the Hilda back into the EXP lane for the delayed rotations. While Stefan plays a little bit more back to see if he can get some nice counterplay through his ultimate.
No way Ye3 made a bad call on the rotation. He should have proxied the wave after he saw Uranus proxy. He ended up being a little too late. Oh!
Purify already forced out. Orochi here in front of CG Esports Valens. Oh! Still had the flicker. And now they know the real world manipulation's down.
The question should be at around back at around somewhere 40 seconds at this point. Plus Battlespell for Battlespell, but the Purify does come back earlier. So Balance won't have the surprise initiation with the Cho. Good call by Shin to commit an ultimate.
The Expilators finally see each other again here, but
Wow, riveting gameplay. Oh my lord, look at CXP laters.
these micro plays.
Oh, he almost did the damage. Whoa! This is exciting, riveting play. EXP in a nutshell, man.
Stefan doesn't seem to find the right timing yet though for the shortcut.
So far, I think that Stefe's only concern is like accidentally throwing out the shortcut and not canceling out the Swan Song.
Oh wait, now it's CG who starts things up. Stefan doesn't even get to use the shortcut. Gary secures the objective while Ye3 from the sides
Dive him.
hands over a double kill to Gary.
Are we not diving this? Are we not diving this? We still have
Right
Swan
now.
Song.
Yeah.
Balance. Orochi's still able to clear it. Stefan though, jumping in, now uses the shortcut, but everyone is able to dodge the stun. But look at Hyde on Bush! He finds the perfect target in Amzik. Ye3 trades out Stefan, but now that's two members of CG Esports going down.
Where is Chico this entire time?
There.
Yeah, not using You're not wrong.
Oh!
There he is.
Why? Why?
Oh no!
He had to dash to the other side, but the more important target clearly was Doom.
No way, dude. No way.
He probably thought the damage was gonna be enough, but Doom still got shield.
He's playing Impure Rage. He's not even playing Lethal Ignition.
What is it with impure rage nowadays?
I mean, it's just efficient, you know? In the laning phase, you poke people out, but it's moments like this where you're just like, I wish I had Lethal Ignition.
Yeah.
And I wish Lethal Ignition worked within a period so you can trigger it on multiple people and not just you do it one time and then you're just,
It's gonna be big regret for Chico not going after Doom. That would have been Doom's second death if if he just decided to go towards the other way instead of trying to get that kill onto Orochi.
or flickered on him, whichever.
Flickered on him.
Yo, we saw this yesterday. Is it gonna happen again though?
Oh!
Amzig's going down, but Chico is caught with a swan song. Now he hits so many targets in exchange of his life. Gary trying to go after Orochi, but instead it's Doom who they find.
Oh, they're split, they're going after Shin.
Oh,
Yep.
there goes Shin. Purified Force. No, now there's a knockup again. Balance and Ye3 try to finish the job, and they do.
Hopefully they get
Orochi trying to decide which one to get. But not at this point, he's like, oh, you know what, I'm a Uranus. There's not much I can do, man.
Yeah, and Gary's immediately going for the mid T1, which is far more valuable than anything else. A really great fight, and now you guys are understanding why Malaysians have a really controversial relationship with Chico. He's like, he does some weird stuff, and then he makes like the super play, and you're like, I forgive you.
Yeah.
He spat in your face, and you're like, do it one more time.
Sure.
It's disrespectful, but it's necessary. He makes up for it every single time.
This is a love-hate relationship that you have.
It really is.
Oh wait, Ye3 all alone though. Now the shortcut's used, and
Why?
still this is
He could have flickered out. As Valence, Chico, and Amzik were going down.
He didn't, or did he have the flicker at the time?
He
Wait,
did.
Shin, okay. Now using the real world. Another swan
Chico!
song on 3 members at that. But without Amzik, can they still fight this?
They can't, not at
Yeah.
all. I don't know. Oh man, because Odette is an interesting hero, right? I feel like Chico is trying to maximize the amount of damage he gets by throwing out the stun first straight in to the Swan Song to maximize his damage, because technically the stun can bounce around if the
Yeah.
targets are close to each other.
Up top,
But
up top.
I think they just need to. I think he just needs to ult, right, and save his abilities. He just needs to be a deterrent more than actually profiting from it.
Because like for the past 2 instances where we saw the swan song, he was either waiting in the bush, trying to go for an ambush,
Yep.
or down bottom. He decided to go in, and even in that most recent fight, he started it by himself. So
With the Genius Swan being the only item so far, though, once the Oday gets to the third item, then Black Santas really needs to watch out for every Swan Song that gets dished out. With all of them sticking together at some point, most likely he'll go for the Genius Wand. Even the Lightning Torsion, that's going to be really painful to deal with. And with everything that's happened in this game so far, Haidon Bush has gone under the radar. He found Avsik in that fight.
Yeah.
Got the kill there. He's 3-1-4. 2 turtles over 1 compared to CG. He's been on point with this Lancelot.
The short range from Carrie is really hurting her odds because Haydn Bush has successfully found her 2 times already. The third time just feels really inevitable and it's something that they have to answer for. I think that at this point, what could they do? Gary, where is he currently at? He doesn't have the Endless Battle yet, but he's already completed the War Axe alongside with the Hunter Strike. And then when we're looking at Chiku's side, Lightning Truncheon finally complete, but I don't see any Dominance Ices done yet.
Wait, Valens.
Could be big.
They don't know that Steph is there. They're gonna try.
You're waiting. They still don't know.
I think it's okay. It's pretty okay as long as Amzik doesn't walk up first. I like the fact that they're like, let's probe out with Valens. There's a good chance he might be there, so let's just hold on.
Oh, they're spotted. They're spotted.
Now that
The trick is up.
Oh! It doesn't land. Oh, that could have been something for CG Esports. Definitely could have been something.
That could have been one of the most high play predictions of all time. It just turned out to be Stefan was one step ahead. He didn't use the flicker out right away. He walked a little bit more flickered.
Yeah.
You saw it. It was almost there.
I mean, was Valens 1 step ahead or was he 2 steps ahead? I feel like he was 2 steps. He could have just walked up, forced the flicker, and then followed up.
Yeah, that's true.
A bit too excited.
Okay.
Try and get it off.
At least CG Esports now, though, have a clear adjustment. They're not letting anyone alone on the opposite side of the map because they know that there's a potential threat of Steffe with the shortcut, and they force out the Purify from Orochi there.
I'm all for it. I am all for it because Orochi, they're waiting for his stacks to run out. He's going to sit on the Lord to maintain it, right? But there's no way to get him off of this realistically. Maybe Chico, guys, when he does eventually get into the Wishing Lantern, but for now, Amzik is supposed to be their main answer. And without a Trinity completed, he is just a little off of DHS. Once he gets that DHS, it's going to be a bigger problem. Wait a second.
Oh, there.
They saw him.
Oh, they found him. Now they have nothing to worry about. They're going for Orochi. Still not using the shortcut. There you go. Steph is still alive. 1 hit more needed. Real world manipulation committed by Shin, but all members of CG Esports are able to remove themselves out. Thorn Rose committed by Haidon Bush. Steph is still not going home. Gary spots him. And now Black Sentence, they're all low.
Yep, they got to go back to their neutral objectives, right? But first, clean up the waves. Top side is on net negative for CG. Bottom side is a net positive. Mid is already shoved in. This is a really good time to start getting involved.
And Steffi doesn't have the shortcut again. Doom has the Zaman Force though, so that's one. They just have to be careful.
Careful is one thing, but I think that Amzik has a really tough job. That ult, as good as it is, can only take out one guy at a time. And they know that Orochi is pretty difficult to deal with at this point. What does he have? Does he have a Pauldron yet? No, he does not have. The Dom Ice is on its way, but he's only got Oracle, so he's praying for the best.
Huh? Oh, maybe it goes for Doom.
Trying to pour something out. Purify still there on the Harith. Valens.
Now Valens finds Shin. There's the Purify, however, and the real world manipulation. The shortcut too, right at the corner. Stop CG Esports from potentially pursuing this fight. Now it's Black Sentence who might be looking for the re-engage, but CG Esports, they don't want to fight anymore.
Too resource hungry for everybody here.
A3. Orochi zoning everyone out really, really well. Chico, he finds him there. Doesn't use the ultimate just yet.
Oh, gee.
And they rely
Uh-oh.
on sheer damage to do that. Now they've regained control over the Lord Pit. Steffe trying to look for an opening, but now Yari gets to secure the objective for themselves. Doom might be next, but then he gets to put himself under the turret, and CG Esports have found a way around this.
Dude, Chico's holding on to that ult until next Christmas, my guy. He's waiting for 2027 before he releases it. Because so far, his ults have been interesting. And it's strange to see, but Odette so far has a 25% win rate in 4 games in the M-Series stage.
Oh,
Wow,
what?
Chico posted 80% in 5 games in MPL. I didn't realize it was 80. I thought it was still 60. I missed out on two games, I guess.
CG Esports on the brink of getting a victory here. 10-7 of the kills.
Come on, do the thing.
Chiku, a massive swan song. But he's not gonna pull the trigger just yet. He wants to really savor the moment. Is he waiting for a savage?
I don't know. It's either he really wants to use it immediately or he doesn't want to use it at all.
That's the thing. I feel like he wants to be in
Oh.
the center.
Okay, Orochi now. Oh, Amzik stealing so much damage, but he has to flicker out because you can expect the same from Doom. Stiko finds Doom, but on the other side of the map, Stephanie also gets to use the shortcut. Get3 though, trying to pursue Shin, and he will be successful in finding the kill. But Chiku's traded out too. Now it's Get3 all alone.
So, explain to me what the call was there. Like, how, right? How could you botch this up that hard?
I mean, trying to buy time, but at this point he will eventually fall. This means though the Black Santa's
what?
down. Oh, yeah, three.
It's just not worth it. It's not worth it. Even if you get a
just let go.
wipeout, there's...
Clear out the minion waves.
Yeah. They got to deal with the minion waves. Man, this is hard to watch. This is pretty hard to watch. Let's look at that replay one more time to see how bad this was a biff, right? Because the fight split in two, and that's something that CG does not want to do, right? They kite to the same side, they see Stefe, but then the information was cut in half. Chiku's going for Shin, who's supposed to be the main target. And don't get me wrong, I don't think it's the worst target, but you have 4 members attacking your backline who is already less than 25 HP.
Yeah, I think if he got the kill on Shin and Doom, it would have been different. But Shin was able to get away with it. So all the other frontliners were able to just regroup and help Shin survive that for a bit more longer. And unknowingly, those frontliners had decent amount of damage too.
Why are we going for a Rose Gold Meteor here? Is Shin that big of an issue to Amzik? I feel like as much as you're up against this Harith, the range is kind of important because Orochi is pretty much in your face 90% of your times, and then the last 1% is Doom. The other 9% is hide on bush.
Yeah, it feels like he's just thinking of all the magic damage dealers. He's thinking 4 magic damage to 1 physical. I build Rose Gold.
I will not let Stefe kill me.
Yeah. Not this chip. Anyone but the chip. Great position by CG, by the way. Black Santa's Pryo on the turtle, but they have a little bit more map control. The Sun Gary down bot, cut that. The beacon.
Oh, wait.
They need to do something
Stefe.
right now. What a gank! What a gank!
Oh, Steppe doesn't know, but everyone else is there too. Now Chiku, is it time that he uses the Swan Song? He finally does, but
Defensively.
no one goes down. Sietri blocking off the other members, and every single one of them remains alive.
That was hot.
That really was. Good thing Gary used the mountain chakra in time, because if he did it, he would have just gotten surprised. But he felt it. They knew something was up. And then they were able to spot out the chip play before it fully pushed through. 5v5 still. This could be a very intense and dramatic end to this 3-game series. CG and Black Santa's fighting for tournament life.
Dude, look at the goal lead. It's just going back and forth. It really doesn't stop
Yeah.
changing. 12 to 11. These teams are so strangely equal in terms of the playing field. Despite having such a better composition and counter index. Oh, wait.
Orochi, where's that damage coming from? Gary, he just wanted the Lord. And now that they got it, nothing matters anymore.
Yep.
I was thinking they'd use the chip pull to send the Lancelot back faster, but where was it?
They're nervous. They're nervous. He's just like, Chiku's not holding it until next year, guys. He's using it this game.
Yeah. They knew they're still, again, that's one of the threats of this event up against that chip. Even if they did decide to use it, they would have just all eaten the Swan Song, although dead. And now CG easily got the Lord. They're marching forward, very close in the items. Black Santas has great defense, great high ground. But can they make it work, Chiku?
Yep, I wouldn't be surprised if Chiku flickers in.
Yep. He honestly should after this right here.
Okay, doesn't have the winter crown, but maybe right now is a good time. Black Sentence, though, will focus on clearing out the waves first. And there goes the wave! Does Chiku go in? 4 members of Black Sentence are down! Doom could not defend this anymore! CG Esports stay alive!
Such such a toxic relationship I have with Chiku. I doubt him. He says, no, I pay back with dividend every single time.
Poetic! A swan song from Chiku! Unfortunately sends Black Sentence home, and CG are still alive here. It is not a Black Friday for Malaysia. Thank you, Black Sentence, for your effort, for everything that you've done, for what you almost achieved. But it's CG who walks away victorious.
A heartbreak for the region of Latam. More rebuilding to do, but great potential, a bright future, and truly competitors that could change the game in a year's time. 5 months compared to a year. Imagine if they were on the same footing.
Yeah,
5 months. That's how long BSE have been together, from MPL LATAM Season 1 to MPL LATAM Champions to this moment where it almost looked like they could have taken this away from CG, but hesitation meant that CG pounced.
that makes it 2 Malaysian teams now.
Yep.
Well,
Not good.
no, this is an
They're in the
elimination match.
2-2 bracket.
Oh yeah,
Yes.
right, that's right.
So at least for CG, they make it for just one more round.
Yeah.
Qualification is one best of 3 away, and I mean we're trimming down the fat here.
Yeah.
We're
Heartbreak.
getting to the lean meat already, and we're getting there fast.
Yeah, we are. We have one more elimination match coming up today, but of course, in just a moment, we'll be hearing from CG. Unfortunately, Stefan will have to wait another year. I think you're starting to see the emotions on the faces of BSE. They were so close, but the moment of hesitation. But they knew if it was like a loss, and they used the shortcut, that would have been an easy swan song for Chico.
Yep. No matter what, it was a matter of chicken. Whoever pressed the ult first, guaranteed to lose.
But no matter where they decided to put Steffi, right?
Yeah.
G were just quick to react, and it's not react in a bad way. It's like they decided to rotate towards the bottom lane, fully knowing well that that could be the call for Black Sentence.
But it's crazy. The runner-ups of Malaysia was taken to 3 games against Black Sentence. 5 months again. I hope Black Sentence considers taking this team together. They've
Wow.
had a wealth of experience this M series. They started off Swiss by taking that one game against CFU Gaming. They struggled against Alter Ego and Team Falcons, but they took CG to their limit. There's a bright future in LATAM, and I hope the region gets behind Black Sentence, for there could be a team there to make an even deeper run in the next major international. But it is the joy of Malaysia as CG is still alive here on Swiss Stage. We're going to go on over to Rose for the interview to hear from CG.
From MDL Latam to the World Championship stage in 5 months is no easy feat. Keep your heads held high, Black Sentence, and we hope to see you come back stronger next year. And now the winner of our second elimination match of the day. Give it up for CG Esports! Right now on stage, we have with me Yetri and Chiku. Boys, that was a very intense game 3. How are you both feeling right now?
Feeling good.
Feeling good? Chiku?
Feeling hampir tak tahu nak cakap macam mana. Hampir rasa macam nak kalah kat tadi.
He
Happy,
felt
yeah.
like he almost lost just now.
Yeah.
Just a little bit, almost. Now, Chiku, we learned that CG is actually Scream's partners with BSE. So, did that make today's match harder or actually easier?
I think harder because mostly we fighting in Swiss stage, BFYG and BSC our screen partner. So yeah, a little bit hard.
It makes it harder because more or less you guys know who's going to pick
Yeah.
and ban, who's
We
going
know
to
each other
what,
and-
rotations,
Yeah.
all those kind of stuff. Yeah, that was a very intense full series actually. Now, Yetri, this journey in the Swiss stage so far, especially since it's your first international tournament, right? How different is CG from when you started in the Swiss stage until now? What changed?
It's different, maybe the confidence. about because before this we lack of preparation and our team is not fully ready. But right now we are fully together and change our mindset.
Fully together, and of course the mindset has definitely changed. You said that the confidence also has changed, so are you guys more confident now?
Of course, we confident to going to knockout stage.
Confident to go to the knockout stages. Now, yes, guys, tomorrow CG Esports has actually one more do or die match to get one of the last few tickets to the knockout stages. And speaking of that, since you guys are one game away, do you feel more pressured?
Pressure is come every time but I already usual to that, and maybe because whoever the opponent we try to fight.
Whoever the opponents, you guys try to fight. Now, we know that back then in Malaysia, whenever you guys are stressed out, you guys would go release some stress by bowling. Have you guys done any of those activities in Jakarta to help manage the stress?
Yes.
Yes.
Actually, 2 days ago, right? We go bowling. 2 days ago.
I think yesterday night.
Oh, yesterday night.
Yeah.
Okay, so for all of you guys who don't know, here's your little fun fact. CG uses bowling as a way to actually de-stress. Now, Chiku, I see in the audience today that you have a special buff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My family.
Your family is here. Do you have anything you want to say to your wife, your baby?
Untuk wife saya dengan Dania, hopefully kita akan balik lambat lah. InsyaAllah kalau ada rezeki.
He said to his wife and to his daughter, hopefully they will go back to Malaysia later, not anytime soon. And of course, earlier today, we showed a video message from Yums, and he was giving his support to you. Is there anything you want to say to Yums?
For Yum and semua SRG punya player and coaching staff mostly, terima kasih sebab banyak bagi tips kat kita orang and membantu kita orang lah. Perbaiki masalah kita orang. Ya, terima kasih.
Once again, congratulations to CG Esports for making it out of another elimination match. Thank you so much, boys. Congratulations. I will see you both tomorrow. And of course, now it's time to show it back to the casters to actually analyze what happened in this full series match.
Great to hear from Ye3 and Chiku, of course, showing their love and thanks to their fellow Malaysian orgs, members, teams, Yums, SRG, of course. Because I hesitated there because I remembered Cram and Innocent are Filipino. So that's why I was like, I don't want to accidentally lump all of them as Malaysian, as there are Filipinos who are surprised that Cram and Innocent are Filipino. So
I think no matter what, it's going to be help from the organization, right? Because Coach Ark, technically, we're talking about quote-unquote help.
Yeah.
That would be kind of the go-to. But let's give it up for our MVP of this game. Without a doubt, as much as I was like, okay, maybe, I don't know, he's holding on to that swan song till next year.
Yeah.
He has paid dividends again and again and again.
yeah, it's like Chico was like, guys, the ult is called Swan Song. It should be the final goodbye, the very last. So I will get
maybe
the
that's
last.
why.
I will get the last big Swan Song right before we win. It's all part of the plan,
He
man.
was saving it, even his flicker. So maybe that's why he wasn't showing himself
Yeah,
anymore.
it's for the sake of conceptual symmetry.
Yeah, you guys can fight, and I'm just gonna use my flicker and my swan song when I want to end things.
Look, there are many different arguments that can be made here, but truly there are only a couple of facts that matter. Now let's start looking at the highlights real quick, because let me tell you, this Swan Song had so much potential to devastate every aspect of this fight. You can tank an entire RWM if you're sitting right in the middle of it, but the biggest problem is how does it get canceled? Now, a lot of the knockups really just boil down to, hey, if Chip gets on top of you, because everybody else doesn't actually have CC. Well, I mean the RWM, but even so, it doesn't cancel out the channeling at the end of the day. So it's about positioning in these fights. When you are looking at Harith on the opposite side, he can only dash as far as the zone that he has created with the Zaman Force, which is why we see that in a lot of major fights that BSE is looking to try and take out some key characters before the fight even begins. But then the Swan Song comes in, always clutch at the very end. As we see the rest of these fights continue to play out, the worst thing that BSE could potentially do is to start a fight by a Lord, and that's why you were seeing that Stefe was heading to opposite sides of the map, looking for potentials. Luckily, Amzik learned a little bit off of the team spirit game. maybe don't walk up too far up in the lane. You know, maybe wait for
Yeah.
the Mountain Chakra. Let Valens do a lot of the heavy lifting. And I think that Valens, I am worried about him because his hero pool seems to be more proficient towards Cho and nothing else, but I could be entirely wrong, similar to the Swan Song, because in this final moment, it was so telegraphed. You knew exactly what they wanted to do with this Swan Song and Flicker. We're going to siege, we're going to take you all out. If you walk too far outside of your crystal, it's game over.
So you really can't fault, again, going back to the main point with how the Swan Song disrupted a lot of the ideas that maybe Black Santas just could never bring out, that they had to hesitate, that they had to think about the Swan Song every single time. Cannot blame them for not deciding to use the chip ultimate to send Hydon Bush to the Lord in the last Lord fight, and then they just decided, let's just play for the defense.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But then at that point, Chico was like, I have one condition. I look for Shin. Once that reroll manipulation is up, I'm going in.
Yeah.
Swan Song.
It was like a collective call to just come from behind the wall so everyone gets surprised, because no one saw that CG were ready to fight inside the base just yet. But then you just needed that single dash from Amzik, and then Valens could do it easily. But
Yeah.
Chico was the difference maker in that team fight, because he literally sacrificed the flicker just so he could also get in and cross the wall. I love it when I see unique mages in the mid lane.
Yep, and hey man, none other than the man who brings unique stuff all the time to you guys. God, he's already played so many different roles. He's made an impact, and it's great to see him back on the stage. But I'm really excited for players like Amzik, for an example. Yeah, three unironically played one hell of a game. He bought literally, what, a total of a minute and a half of just delaying his opponents?
And the presence of the Hilda really showing up as to why it's one of the picks that may fly under the radar but impactful, whether it's in the roam and the EXP. In the roam, as you saw here, a little bit more demanding. Make sure you get the timing right of the mid trades. But in the EXP, as long as you're managing your lane, you're good. You just go straight
Yeah.
run to the back, get that target down. A very fun one here. Between CG and Black Sentence, it went to 3 games.
Yeah.
I was expecting like a pretty sloppy,
Yeah.
one-sided affair, but no. Again, which is why Black Sentence, hopefully they keep this roster. It's only been 5 months. They could only go up from here. I hope we get to see more of them, maybe in MSC.
It was really fun, even if it was a Hilda Uranus matchup in the EXP. It's not like we watched them in the EXP lane anymore. Our observer did not go there anymore. So we were just
Come on, what are you going to see? You're going to see
Riveting gameplay.
you were just going, whoa.
Yeah.
Hilda going, whoa.
we just had to watch Chico, right? And whatever Chico wanted to do.
Well, I mean, Valens was also a pretty good second place to watch make moves across the map, because I think that he started to pick up on the idea of like, how exactly should I be dealing with this chip? I don't need to deal with him. I just need to see him once.
Well, we have one last remaining match for today. It's Evil up against Onyx Indonesia. Who would have thought that Onyx will be fighting for tournament life, now up against a Singaporean champions? We'll be back after this break.
He has slain. An enemy has
Ruby 15 Pro M7 official gaming foam. Are your M4 World Champions, winning the game, getting the checkmate, setting everything up right now. Are going to the M7 World Championship.
Let's go.
Futbol uğraşıyordum, futbolcu olmak istiyordum. Ama pandemi girdikten sonra futbolu ara verdim. Birazcık da Mobile Legends oynamaya başladım o zamanlar, yani yaklaşık.
Que nosotros empezamos desde la MDL, la ganamos, después subimos a la MPL, también la ganamos y ahora estamos en el Mundial y también esperamos ganar.
I think Team Zone is underdog in M7. Nobody expected us to be here.
Evo was once a dark horse and we break through the expectation of everyone.
Team Flash upon They broke history.
Even though we are coming in as a newcomer, we are not just coming in here for experience.
We know we have power. That's all. We are good.
Nosotros somos el equipo de host.
Who do I think will be the dark horse? A bit of a Malaysian bias, but I would say CG for sure.
I'll lean more towards Yangon Galactic. I don't think anyone really is expecting CG to be a threat.
Kita orang bukan dark house. Kita orang cuma pendatang baru.
ကျွန်တော်ကတော့အဲ့လိုတော့မထင်ဘူးအများကြီးပြင်ဆင်နေတော့ကြောင့်မလို့ပွဲတဲ့ကြရင်အကောင်းဆုံးပုံစံနဲ့ဆော့ရသွားမှာချပြသွားမယ်ချပြသွားမှာလို့ချက်တော့စောင့်ကြည့်သေး
Sebab kita orang ni suka invade orang, baca orang. Memang gaduh tak berhenti.
ညီရဥအောင်ချတယ်ပေါ့အားကြောင့်မို့ကျွန်တော် gracious ဆိုတာတော့ကြာ
Agresif, kenapanya? Karena suka perang. Karena kalau misalkan bermain agresif, musuh bakal kena pressure duluan.
មូលហេតុដែលពួកខ្ញុំចូលចិត្តលេង aggressive ដោយសារពួកខ្ញុំខែមុនគឺមើល player ខ្លួនឯងនីមួយៗហើយគិតទៅថាអ្នកគឺដៃខ្លាំងមែនតើអញ្ចឹងលេង aggressive គឺត្រូវ
我们战术打法无规则打法，就对手可能研究不透我们的打法。
We are not that serious. We just playing for fun because it helps us not get pressure. If you play for real, we get a high pressure international.
可以打进世界赛的关键之一是早睡早起，保持好身体。
Siguro determination lang din talaga and focus sa sarili kasi doon nalalabas siguro yung pagiging consistent sa paglalaro.
Our secret in our veterans in our team. Enemies need to respect us.
Strong mentality and discipline because it's all about out of the game. King teams for me are gaming us.
Siguro para masabi kong king yung team or legends, siguro meron muna silang MSC title and M-World title.
Kalau dibilang tim raja, enggak lah.
The Sky Kings have been taken down.
Kita belum layak lah dipanggil raja. Ya, back to back dulu lah semuanya, baru bisa dianggap tim raja.
Tingin ko isa kami sa mga king teams kasi sobrang dami na namin pinanalo na tournaments and sobrang dami na namin na-achieve ng magkakasama. Sa tingin ko kapag na-achieve na namin yung Golden Road, hindi na siguro king team yung tawag sa amin, siguro mas angat pa doon.
I think we are because based on the recent tournament in MSC we are the top 2. If we win we already show everyone that we have the potential to become more than a king.
Let's do it for Malaysia.
I will redeem Indonesia.
I will complete the Golden Road.
We are going to be closing out this Friday night here in Jakarta, Indonesia, watching the champions of MPL Indonesia fight for tournament life against the champions of MPL Singapore as Evil face off against Onyx. I cannot believe I'm actually saying that.
Yeah, it's a little interesting to see considering that Onyx was supposed to be one of the few, I would say, part of the top 3 of favorite teams to eventually make it to the end. We don't know which one of the 3 was going to make it to the end, but they were definitely high up there.
Yeah, because I think even for, let's say, the coaching staff of like teams or the other teams who we would assume would be placed in top 3, like Liquid or Aurora, would all acknowledge that Onyx is one of those teams to beat, to really get past before you could eventually say that you would confidently be able to win. But maybe it's the best of ones, maybe it's other factors too, but honestly, it still remains a mystery to me because prior M7, we thought they had such a great grasp of the meta already.
Yeah. To be fair, again, to Onyx, this is the first time we're going to be seeing them in a best of 3 match here at M7, as they have only faced off in the BO1s against Boostgate, Yangon, Team Spirit. But that just really contextualizes this thing that I can't believe that a team the caliber of Onyx ID struggles in a BO1 format, whereas the team that they faced in the grand finals of MPL Indonesia Season 16, Alter Ego, have gone perfect against Aurora Turkey, Black Sentence, and then they swept the team that beat Onyx in Yangon Galactica. So the Sky Kings must rise before evil takes control. I like that headline. That's pretty good. Nobody thought that we'll be here, but we're here. It's Singapore's champion taking on the champions of Indonesia and one of the favorites to win the entire tournament in an elimination match.
Yeah,
Wow.
M7 is something else. If we end the Swiss stage in a similar fashion as to how we ended Wildcard, which was like a major upset or a team we expected to advance not advancing, then that'll be crazy. But I think a lot of us are in agreement that this favors Onyx.
Yeah, no, it definitely favors Onyx, and considering their entire run up to until this point, it seems like they had issues of being a little. Again, this team is very much free flow, right? We gotta have creative ways. We gotta be able to kind of flow, be able to get people into the fights, in and out every single time, but they lack decisiveness. And I think that's something that we saw in their past 2 losses. They weren't decisive enough to take an initial fight. And sometimes even on their wins, that's why we only see up until the late game where that free flow really matters take into effect.
Yeah, because I'm surprised. Like the drafts they tend to go for are still, I'd say, centered around Kiboy Sans and the plays they can make. But as you said, they look like they're trying to go for it, but then they don't. So I think that's also one of the things we want to look out for.
One thing Onyx can look at is that history works well for them in the sense that the last time we saw an Indonesian champion in the M series started off 1-2. They eventually made it to the grand finals. I'm talking about Team Liquid Indonesia in the M6 World Championship, where that was the record they started with. But now looking at Evil in the history of Singapore in this format, NIP Flash were pretty darn good during M6. They lost to CFU. They beat Aurora PH. They beat S2G. Then they would go on to take a then really hot in the tournament Twisted Minds to be the 3rd team to secure, or excuse me, 4th team to secure their slot. That was M6. Let's revisit now, though, the history that doesn't work well for Onyx Indonesia. The fact that when it comes to best of ones, they do not have a glowing track record with this format, either in the BO1s or even in the BO2 format.
And it's kind of ironic, right? Because the only times that when we look at the BO1s, it's like, oh man, this is kind of difficult. And obviously in M3 they beat their brothers, but up until that point, coming down into those best of 5s, the only times we see them actually drop the ball really, really hard is either to at the time going to be eventual champions, Echo, and of course Deo's Fault, who we now know as the one and only Team Spirit. Like, so again, very much recalling back onto the history of the teams that they have lost to, they are still losing to, and the track record of BO1's not being great, honestly, still adds up.
Yeah, and now they're gonna be filling this M7 portion depending on how things go for their best of 3 match here against Evil, where I'm wondering how Evil feels like heading into this match, because I feel like they've been on a great momentum. You could see it and you could feel it in their interviews and how motivated they are actually, because they've beaten like some of the more significant teams for them personally, on a personal level, I'd say. But to prepare yourself against a team like Onyx, I wonder if it's like a similar feeling to how CG felt, or like, are they gonna attack this in a different way, or are they gonna stick with what's familiar to them in a sense, and especially in terms of draft?
I think so far, the biggest ways that we've seen teams try to punish Onyx, especially in those BO1s, really comes down to the performance of whether Lutby is able to get into position. Because Skylar, he's getting to the kill points, he's getting to the critical mass, he's unable to convert it due to a lack of space. So maybe that's the way that Evil is going to hit him hard.
Yeah, if they can hit Lutby hard, hit the side laners hard, they also have to look at Skylar, not Skylar, excuse me, Keyboy, if they can give him a hard time. I've been asking around. A lot of people behind the scenes have been thinking that they're sort of underwhelmed by Keyboy's performance so far alongside Sands. But hey, now that we're in a best of 3, it might be a little bit better. To know a little bit more about the champions of MPL Indonesia, one of the favorite teams to win it all, we got to watch this to understand them.
Tim Onyx kalah.
High above the clouds, it's the Dragons of the North that take the Sky Kings down in front of their home crowd.
Ya inilah M7. Gak ada yang bisa dilihat, gak ada yang bisa tahu gimana jalannya pertandingan ini.
Nggak tahu juga, memang kalah aja.
Hindi po siya common siguro. Nga po, dahil hindi po siya madalas nangyayari, kaya medyo nahihirapan po kami ayusin.
И мы знали, что Оники достаточно в плохой форме, и этот матч можно спокойно выиграть.
Normally, when you see a team struggling, you have to see about the inside and the outside of the game. Based from the outside, I just think that they're not in sync right now and they have some communication issues.
Ya kita main menang kalah, maksudnya menang bareng kalah bareng gitu. Kita nggak ada kayak ngesalahin satu player atau gimana.
I don't know what I can say. They still bad drafting, bad playing, and have a lot of mistakes and in gameplay, in micro, in macro, in some strategies, in some fights, in some drafting also.
For me, kailangan nilang ilabas yung talagang hero nila. Huwag na sila mag-try ng any composition.
Sometimes it can be a simple problem that can, kind of affect your team.
Mungkin dari tekanan pressure dari fans juga ya. Karena kan kalau di Indonesia diharapkan banget untuk menang.
Sebenarnya kalau dari gue sendiri, gue kayak ini sih, kayak ngelihat mereka gimana cara mereka ngangkat piala sih. Jadi kayak benar-benar itu ibaratnya kayak redemption dari dalam diri gue.
Dia akan melakukan yang terbaik dan meningkatkan lagi cara bermainnya.
Untuk Onyx tetap semangat.
Semangat ya. Onyx semangat terus. Let's go Onyx.
Come back stronger Onyx. This time Onyx.
Community sentiment is that Onyx needs to stop experimenting and ego drafting. But should they?
I think
are they actually experimenting and ego drafting just because we saw Kyrie pick up a Leo Mord, which is one of the hottest picks of the tournament?
I don't know. I feel like it's really the small little things, right? Because again, it's just how much preparation have you put into the game for each and every individual teams that you have to play and account for so many different situations, right? When we saw them play against Yangon Galacticos, I think it was the most obvious that they were not synced. And even their draft, again, a little questionable, right? And then we look at their fight against Team Spirit, where clearly Team Spirit just got whatever they wanted to, right? Canceling the correct abilities at the correct time. It felt like they couldn't make a mistake, but really the onus was on Onyx, who wasn't peeling for each other to create those beautiful moments that we know Onyx for.
Yeah, it was that game which brought back my faith in the Leo Mord, because I lost it because of the Onyx game, and then it was brought back by Team Spirit when they went up against that exact same team, which was Onyx. But I agree, because I feel like the way that they've been drafting, except for the Yangon Gate perhaps, is very much Onyx identity, like those pick-off heroes, those burst type heroes. So I would personally think that it's more on making sure that they get to activate the Sans Keyboy connection that we know, because I think that's where a lot of it starts. Lutpi in the sides, it's not like you expect him to get the advantage all the time. But so long as those two are working, then everything eventually falls into place. And I think you could say the same for Skylar. Like, Skylar's very dependable in the gold lane. So I think majority of the attention is going to fall on the mid of Onyx.
I'm going to look at it slightly differently, though. It's now in this situation, the Lutpi definitely needs to step up.
Yeah.
And because if the argument is, then if as long as Keyboy, Sans, and Kyrie are doing good, then everything should be going good. But what if it doesn't? Then someone needs to pick up the pace. Someone in the side lane needs to pick it up. The pressure is on the EXP. EXP jungle are the focus of this meta. A lot of the pressure is on there. So now let's look at the other side. Let's look at Evil, a team that could potentially end up getting the greatest upset in MLBB history. if they can take the Sky Kings down today. But it is a tall order for Gear, Aether, Sayla, Powerful, and Ven, as even their victory against Flash in Singapore had question marks on it.
I mean, people say that there's question marks, but at the end of the day, they're here at M7. And they're also backed up by veterans like Kieran as well. Sayla, who was part of an international 4th place finish during M3 to push EVIL forward. This is what they're looking for. My biggest problem with EVIL right now, and their biggest opportunity to actually beat Onyx, comes down to what is their win condition. Their win conditions are always extremely tight, highly mechanical, super demanding. We need easier win conditions to make this happen. And as much as I believe that Onyx like to have those easy win conditions, the timings of those are always lackluster. And as you mentioned, Remar, I don't see that secondary carry just yet.
Now that you mention it, actually the way that they've been drafting seems a bit too dependent on a certain play, or there has to be this sequence for you to be able to guarantee that you get the most out of your lineup. It's the Tigreal during their first game, and then the Freya Faramis in the second game. And they've been trying the Sora out as well. So I know they're a team which is very textbook, and or at least they're described to be a team which is very textbook or fundamental. But these drafts kind of take it away from them to play that.
My worry for EVIL here is that when they went up against Team Spirit to open up their Swiss campaign, and then they went up against Aurora, Turkey after they defeated the FYG, they did not look impressive in those games. I did not see an EVIL that I feel like going into today, I could say they can beat Onyx. But who knows? Singapore has always been the region of many surprises when it comes to the international stage, and they might bring that out. Here's an interesting fun fact. Did you know that Sayla, the mid laner of EVIL, and Kyrie are actually good friends, and they've been good friends since M3. And there's even more details about their close friendship, and even with Coach Yeb and Sayla in an interview that we had with Rose, Sayla, and Kyrie. So we're going to throw you on over there to find out more about this, and maybe their friendship will be a good factor.
Hey guys, Rose here, and right now I am with Kyrie and Sayla.
Hello.
A very interesting mix-up. Hello. Hi, Sayla.
Hi, Rose.
Now, I know some people would think this is a very interesting mix-up, but actually, the last time these two met was in M3. And in case you guys didn't know, they actually became quite good friends right after M3. So, tell us, Kyrie, how did you guys eventually become friends during M3?
I think it was while in the tournament, he asked me to eat out. That's when it started.
Yes, because M3 did happen in Singapore, and Sayla is Singaporean. Where did you guys go eat?
Haidilao.
Hot pot.
Hot pot.
A good choice. A very good choice. So, Sayla, so after so long, how do you feel finally meeting Kyrie again? Did you miss him?
Yes. But I mean, I met him quite a few times throughout since M3, so we'll be keeping in touch since.
They've been keeping in touch. Okay, since the mic is with Sayla, Sayla, what was your first impression of Kyrie in M3?
Actually, his vibes is very similar to me. We are both really shy. So, yeah.
What about you, Kai?
I think the same as his answer. It was also my first impression of him was he was like a shy boy. Yeah, shy introvert.
Yeah, M3 was definitely quite a while back. Now, what's your impression of him now?
Still the same, I think.
Still shy. Sayla?
Exactly the same still.
No difference at all. You know what? Just a little bit. Since you're in Indo now, which is kind of Kyrie's home ground, is there any food you recommend Sayla to eat while he's here?
I actually asked him to eat nasi padang, which is my favorite food here, and I don't know if he already tried it or not. Did you?
No, not yet. You bring me.
Not yet. Okay. Before we enter into this game, you guys will become enemies later on. Friends right now, enemies in the battlefield. Is there anything Kyrie wants to say to Sayla as a friend?
I just want to say I'm sorry because I have to send you back in Singapore.
Sayla?
I also want to send you home. Sorry too.
In order to see who will be sending who home, we shall head right into the match.
Thank you, Rose. Nice to see the dynamic of Sayla and Kyrie. Dude, I would pay to watch a buddy cop film with these two as stars.
I'm telling you, the Wattpad is going crazy right now.
The Wattpad.
Yeah, the Wattpad is going wild. Singaporean youngsters are out there thinking about this relationship right here. A bond that can't be broken.
Because the way that they were just standing beside each other like that and not moving. It was awkward, but it was so cute.
That's how you know they're true friends. The shenanigans that they've been up to. But it's time to welcome them up on stage. Let's start with Onyx. They are down, but not out just yet. The Sky Kings, while on their knees, gracious in you to prove that not all hope is lost. EXP Lutby, Mid Suns, Ronky Boy, Gold Scholar, and Jungle Kyrie. Your time is now. Onyx Indonesia! The home crowd has shown up. EXO Hall is filled with Sonics. But maybe, just maybe, it's a team from Singapore. They're champions and a little bit of evil that can spice things up.
And on the other side, from the Philippines, runner-up now facing Indonesia's champion. Does Singapore's representative have what it takes to pull off a great upset? It's Gear, Aether, Sayla, Powerful, and Ven. Take control! Evil!
This team has worked far too hard to get eliminated now. Singapore, known to be upsetters in every international tournament. This could be their moment that could change a lifetime and a generation for MLBB esports within their own region. Of course, we have the brawn lined up in front of us. We must get the brains up on stage. Give it up for the coaches for both Evil and as well as Onyx. From the side of Evil, it's Coach Bitoy. And from Onyx, it's Coach Adi and CW. Once again, we'd like to thank Gary the Marshal, making sure that everything is running smooth up on that stage. All technical issues will be handled.
A lot of us are thinking this is probably going to go a very specific and predictable way. But what if just a little bit more magic from Singapore, a little bit more shock? What if that DNA of NIP Flash or the now Flash is still there in Evil? And it might just be enough to shock the champions of Indonesia. Here's the champions of Singapore on your screens.
Yeah, because if you're talking about the magic of Singapore and their lineups or their runs ever since in international tournaments, it always feels as if it's an almost there. Like they bring out something and then they almost accomplish the upsets, but it's never enough. And that's been the trend for Flash for how many times now in a row? But now it's different. It's not Flash that we're seeing. It's Evil who defeated Flash. And with this mixture of new or young bloods and veterans, this might just be that recipe to accomplish that.
I think a bigger topic we need to talk about are the imports here. Aether and as well as Ven. Ven from MPLPH. From the side of MPL Indonesia, we have Aether. Both considered pretty mediocre in their own routes, and now they have to fight to not only consider tournament favorites, but some of the pillars of the Indonesian MLBB esports scene. They're facing up against Skylar and Kyrie.
When all else fails, trust Kyrie. It's a good way to look at Onyx IT, but it's definitely no longer Kyrie Esports as the old stigma was back then. But the entire team definitely need to carry their weight. Skylar, questionable Bruno, big with a fighter emblem. Will they experiment with that? I don't know. But Skylar has always been one of those gold diggers that I feel like can get away with whatever pick he ends up with.
It's true.
Whoa.
It's true. The Sonics are out in droves here in the EXO Hall and online as they start to dominate who will win game number 1 in the chat.
I could barely hear anything.
Me neither.
Yeah, they're singing. I wonder if like
there's an end to that singing.
What did you say?
I'm just glad.
See, I can't even hear.
No, I'm kidding. No, I can hear you. I can hear you guys. Just trust. We learned from this.
Yeah.
It's not to try and beat the noise. The mics will pick us up. But if we don't hear each other, then no hard feelings. It's not that I'm not listening to you. I really cannot just hear you.
I'm just glad that the Sonics are on the Indonesian broadcast side because my goodness, if they're in front of us, it's over. It's literally so loud here in the EXO Hall, and we haven't even gotten into the draft. I don't even know what kind of map we're playing on.
Yeah. This is all on. I think there have been a lot of sentiments too, or shout outs towards the coaches, like Coach Adi, what do you want to do now, and stuff like that. And so same goes for Coach Vitoy for sure. So now you're asking what map we're getting. It's gonna be dangerous grass.
Yep. Okay, so now we look for the surprising picks. We look for the picks that could disrupt a lot. Excuse me, Vivian showed up right in front of us, and I may have gotten just a little bit distracted.
Wait,
so,
where is she?
oh no, eyes too slow. Bring it down, eyes too slow. By the way, randomly shout out Naisu. So, now we watch out for Hildas. We watch out for Khalid's. These heroes that have done very well at Dangerous Grass. But Evil, surprisingly, are very willing to give Onyx a Yuzhong for Lutpi.
You mentioned it. You wanted Lutpi to step up. Isn't this like the best hero to allow you to do that?
This is the easiest to step up with.
I think he really has to, right? Because there's no excuse for him at this point now that the major first picks are kind of out of the way. I mean, Grok is still there, but that's not really going to stop a Yuzon from getting into your back line. That's the beauty of the Black Dragon form. I'm curious to see how Evil is going to draft because Kalia and as well as Carrie are going to get locked in for Evil. Carrie was expected. I wasn't expecting the Kalia this time, but it just means that they're setting up for Sayla, right?
Yeah.
And I'm wondering if they're gonna pair it up with another birth hero like a Kadita or something, since the Yuzhong pretty much denies you of confidently picking up the likes of a Farsa, which you still can. Because oh wait, that's an Onyx thing by the way. But like, let's see where it goes.
I mean, the Phantom War results really just show how much of an uphill climb this is going to be for Evil in the eyes of many. A Baxia priority first phase. Yeah, this feels familiar.
I like this a lot because here's the relationship, right? Yishin Shin is a little nervous about walking too far to the Kalia, right? And he sucks when he starts falling behind, but he will eventually scale. So the early game, you have an advantage with this Baxia, and now as much as Gatot is a direct counter to the Kalia, he can't deal with the Baxia pre-level 4 or after that.
Yeah, I'm gonna have a hard time dodging everything the Baxia's gonna throw at him if ever. Wait. Tari taken out for Skylar.
I mean, with them taking the clothing of the character, actually, theoretically, it makes a lot of sense with how they decided to draft this. In terms of the best picks for Skylar, they whittled it down, but then Onyx can honestly just go double fighter. The thing is, they still have to think about the fact that there's a carry on the other side. So you see the train of thought here for Onyx. Onyx took out the Sora. If there's a gold lane pick that might show up here that Evo needs to be wary of, I think it might actually be the CC Gold.
Yeah, it's just that I'm probably worrying a bit about Onyx and if it ever does go to the late game and how can they close it out if they've been struggling in their previous games to do that, even with the presence of a marksman already.
Yep, that's actually an excellent point. That's one of the problems, I guess, for Onyx that has been evident for them here at the Swiss stage.
I think this might be a Moskov angle. I think that there's a potential for Moskov to actually get played here for the side of Onyx, but it really depends, right? Because at the end of it, Double Fighters is still very much on the table. Loyi gets banned out here, but considering that Onyx is already getting rid of things like Lapu Lapu, I think they're either setting up for a potential Farsa, because it doesn't look that good if Farsa goes on Evil's side. Onyx is going to give them that choice and take whatever's left. In that case, it's probably going to be Lunox, right?
Yeah, the Lunox would actually be nasty for Onyx.
Ban Glue. Give him
Lunox and Carry together is just
maybe they're not thinking about the Lunox considering they banned on the Uranus, because honestly they would have had they already had the tools to deal with it.
Yeah, let's see if this is a mid lane pick coming in from Evil, right? Because they can opt not to go for it.
Yeah. Farsa is still available if they want the range. Double Fighters might be difficult. They could save mid. show their XP. I mean, like, it's no hiding the fact that this box is going to go into the jungle.
What do you put against the Yuzhong duo? The Era.
I think you just go Glue, right?
Yeah.
That's kind of like the only thing. All right.
Ah, okay.
It's going to be Farsa and then Glue here. Onyx, if they want to like really ruin his day, they can preemptively just go, you know what? I'm going to go into the Farmus, even though it kind of sucks against the Farsa. But considering that this is Onyx's time to really take advantage of the best of three, let's stick to standard stuff.
Yeah.
Will Sans end up getting the Kadita, considering it's a low bit for him?
Yeah, I feel like Sans is not gonna farm his. It's just not giving Sans.
It's not giving Sans?
Not unless they're planning to pair it up with something really like what we saw in previous series, but still seems like a really good. Oh no, Nick, what the heck?
They know the glue's coming up.
Yeah.
As expected, they pick up the CC.
Yeah, this is what I was worried about. It's just what was going to be the mid lane pick. And
So-
the mid lane pick determines what the side lane pick
Are you
is.
still gonna glue?
The hell?
Hell nah. You're going to lose your little longs really quick.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, for the Arlott into the Faramis.
But that's still somewhat a great way to deal with the Faramis too.
Yeah.
So like,
Well, I mean, I suppose, but I still think that at the end of the day, this is some really tight win conditions from either side, right? Because they're immediately looking to answer a problem with a solution, and that's the entire draft. You show a problem, I instantly answer. And now it's come to the point that it's so convoluted, the ordering and the stack matters more than how the composition positions.
Interesting decisions for these two. Lineup rating, though, will lean towards Onyx. Early to late game potential, way better. The damage potential, though, the hypothetical damage potential of Evil, really, really good. Maybe that's where they'll play it through. As the drums of the Sonics thunder out in EXO Hall, we welcome you to game number 1 is Best of 3 Elimination Series. Two champions face off. The champions of Singapore, Evil, and the champions of Indonesia, Onyx.
Let's get this last BO3 on the road. Everybody has been excited to see whether or not Onyx is recovered from the previous mental and emotional damage played throughout the best of ones here at the Swiss stage.
the drums have stopped, but their voices did not. We're already in game, but we're still hearing the Sonics cheer loud and clear. So now we finally get to see, will Lutpi actually live up to whatever we mentioned? And does Keyboy actually get back in shape?
I think he does, because again, Lutpi, he knows this. He doesn't want to mess up level 1. As soon as he hits level 2, he's got a pretty good chance at finding a solo kill onto Gear, and Gear's well aware of it. It's all about maintaining lane pressure. It means where you don't lose your HP. Losing HP, or at least losing your... No, he misses that, right? Yeah.
He wings by wings in. Now Keyboy gets the taunt. Sayla already pretty low, but none of them will use the flicker just yet.
Pretty dicey mid-trading, though. I mean, good thing that they didn't use the flicker. That would have been a bigger loss, favoring Onyx ID.
Yeah, and now Sayla's gonna lose. Let's count. One minion's gonna is gonna disappear before he gets there. I don't know if the second one will disappear too. Does it? Only missing out one minion total at the end of it. While the gank's happening on towards the upside, right? You can see that Onyx literally is looking for anything while Evil is trying to match that pressure. We're not going to let you get free ganks off. We are man defending you each time.
That was a great dive. He forced out the Petrify already from Lutpi. Oh, but Sayla, now that's a flicker down.
Put lots of pressure on this Farsa. Not going to have level 4. Contesting this first turtle is going to be really tough for Onyx.
No.
Sans.
Oh! Sans does it, picks up first blood, and there's another fight happening up top. It's Gear who's going down. 2 members already gone for Evil even before this turtle.
Yeah, Sans didn't just take down Sayla. He diffed him there.
What was Powerful doing? He was holding the key point on the map. I think he should have just given it up and said, you know what? There's no point, because Sayla is not even level 4.
Yeah.
And if he doesn't get this wave and he isn't healthy, he has to recall even if he does hit level 4. So the choice really needs to boil down to who are your anchors? We must play for them.
Right for this Farsa Evil, you need that for the dare strike.
They're getting tipped so much. even in terms of the energy shields, you could see how Onyx ID are already able to get a lot out of that. And they just double it by picking off Gear for the second time in the EXP lane.
Lee going as expected here for Onyx ID. Play around your conditions. Slow, disciplined.
Oh, Tsunami Slam already committed. Feathered Airstrike 2 is there, but so is the Nether Realm from Sans. Can they get out of this? No! They pull Sayla back! And now with Kyrie joining the fight, Evil have to disengage.
Oh man, Sayla thought he was so safe. He gets taunted, loses his last 2 shots of the Feathered Airstrike, tries to get away, gets yoinked back by Sans. Everything that could have gone for Sayla went wrong. And now, you can see that Ven, he's having a bit of a tough time against Skylar, but it's a matter of time, and that's what Evil needs to do. As much punishment as Sayla takes, as long as he's able to scale up, that's what matters at the end.
As much as they're besties.
As much as they're besties.
As much as they're besties. This is not a fun time for Sayla.
Really isn't. He's being read. His roamer has left him in the weirdest spots. And now he's just getting dove on. Got outplayed by Sans. That was just not really understanding the limits of the Faramis there. It's just like, wait, yeah, I could just go versus you right now. It's gonna be fine.
Yeah, I think the animation's weird because like the GFX looks like it's way shorter than it actually is, but it's really just a small projectile that's chasing you in. For some reason, it's like mildly slow.
Oh, Keyboy checking the book. Now he spots 2. They are actually gonna go for Powerful. Powerful 2 responds though with the Tsunami Slam, but there's not enough damage just yet. Powerful goes down. And that's another successful play before an objective for Onyx.
Yep, and Sans didn't even have to use the Netherrealm for it. I thought maybe it was going to preemptively do it, but true trust into Keyboy, only maximizing the Revitalize to initiate this dive. And now, with 2 turtles in their hand, a 2-level lead from Lupti on the top side, everything that could have gone wrong for the side of Evil on all 3 lanes have gone wrong.
All the conditions of Onyx ID have been checked. First 5 minutes, they have the kill lead. They have a almost 3,000 gold lead. All turtles have got to them so far. They're playing around a fighter-centered lineup. Kyrie hasn't died yet. He's gotten 3 kills. Everything is going perfectly for Onyx ID.
Okay, now Evil might want to look for a trade. Skylar has the Vengeance though, and the Nether Realm right at the edge! Skylar still survives! Kitty Boy as well. Now Kyrie goes in. Mountain Shocker picks up a mega kill and another pull from Sans to potentially take down Aether. And they successfully get a double for him.
What's it gonna be, Gear? Oh!
That's a final slash, but it's a flying Pyramis. It's a floating or flying Pyramis who just gets to walk or float away.
Because of this, because Gear having to travel halfway across the world, he loses his tier 1 because of this, and even so, Aether is still falling further and further behind to Kyrie. As fast as Boxia can clear and can rotate across the map, Kyrie is making sure he is losing no time.
That's another attempt. There's no Nether Realm, so Sans actually will go down. He doesn't have to Purify too, but yeah.
It's a good punish, though. It's a good punish. Sayla still has Feathered Airstrike, and they know that in 33 seconds the turtle is going to spawn. If they can find an initial kill onto Skylar before his Vengeance, that would be ideal.
Right, Evil will now eye this lower turret. Skylar will be ready. Boy as well.
Yeah.
He has the AOG available for him. Here comes Sans. Also has Nether Realm.
He's already back.
Yeah, Kiboy and Sans showing themselves made Evil go, nope, let's not do this. Which is sad. They're not going to be able to find a trade because Kyrie's pushing up top. He's going to steal the orange buff away from Aether too. So Gear's going to see if he can try and cover, but Kyrie got it way too fast.
And that's a tempo punish right there. Your indecision has costed you. Now Turtle's coming up, and you're going to be way far behind. 3-level difference.
Oh, now they finally trade. Skylar will be the sacrifice, but they could potentially pick up the turtle after this. They're going to block off the entry points for Evil. They still actually want to look for an opportunity. They see Powerful, but he's just gonna back off.
Kyrie's also making his way down to the bot side of the map, and so far, everything that has happened, Gear has not been able to really participate in any of these fights. It's starting to frustrate him because he is just bleeding out money every time he walks out of the lane.
Yeah, the laning phase is terrible for Gear. Now he's really just a final slash machine. See if we can make the most out of that. Maybe we can even get like a Dauntless Strike, give Vengeance in. It's not going to be the big impact outside of the ultimate. Evo still trying to find a way to recover. The unfortunate thing about the pick off of the Skylar in the bottom lane is that it happened while the minions weren't there for them. So instead of it being a kill plus a turret, it was just a kill while waiting for the minions.
Yeah, and now they're going to make an attempt to group as 5. Lippy still has Petrify, and that's something that Ben just honestly, considering that he is currently running... What is he running? I can't remember. Flicker, right? He's running Flicker or Purify?
Yes.
Flicker, there we go. Then he shouldn't be walking up so closer.
Yeah.
Because he will get one shot.
Ooh.
That was so close. I think Aether was able to recall back.
Yeah. But again, he's still second in gold, so it's not too bad for Evil just yet. If they're just banking on the idea of Ven eventually being the focal point of this draft.
The thing is, though, Evil cannot defend. They can't even defend their own resources.
Yeah.
You're not necessarily playing to get a lot of farm for your Baksha, but the YSS is getting all the farm, meaning that one of the main cores for Onyx is really getting resources.
Yep, the trade isn't fair. And Evil is trying to even out that score. They managed to get at least one back, but that's off of initiating, right? Knowing that they don't have battle spells.
Oh, powerful. He wants Skylar, but the Nether Realm will save him there, and Keyboy goes in too, tries to counter them out, but surprisingly, Evil actually had damage, but with Lutfi coming in as well, a Black Dragon form alongside Kyrie, they finally get the advantage back. A double for Lutfi, and Kyrie will be there with him as Sans takes down Aether.
Beautifully done by Lutfi. Great initiation after the initial attack coming in from Evil, and Sans and Kyrie did not miss a beat. This was the Lutfi that I was missing out on in the Swiss stage in the BO1s.
The Ghost Bursters from Sans hurt as well. It's Ghost Bursters with the Lightning Crunch, and everyone was close together, and now Onyx gets the Free Lord 6,000 and climbing for their gold lead. Let's look back at the instant replay to see that pretty disgusting damage that Sans and the rest of Onyx were able to dish out.
And that's the thing, right? Because when you see the AOG come in, and even the Feathered Airstrike, once Keyboy was on top and managed just to get the taunt, things started to go wrong after the Nether Realm, right? That's when Lupti gets into the middle of it. The knockup ends up hitting Powerful accidentally, and Powerful honestly shouldn't have dived him in the first place after seeing the Furious dive.
Seems like he forced it there. He used the tidal strike to get close. The range wasn't enough just yet. I think there was a flicker that was committed too just to secure that. And again, the Lord just spawned so fast. So now in no time, Onyx ID, they're just this close to getting rid of all the remaining outer turrets from Evil. And this is not looking too good. No!
Oh, unfortunate.
No more holy shields for mid too.
Yeah, really good spacing coming in from Sans. He knows exactly what he's doing here, but now they're also getting the holy shielding on that top side as well. Wait, the Lord doesn't take the damage!
Oh, they could still utilize this if they wanted to, but they're gonna respect Evil and their potential. They know that the final slash, the knockups from Powerful are available too. Okay. Okay. Oh, that's the curtain call AOG combo. And now it's going back for Onyx ID. They finally go for the dive alongside the Nether Realm. Aether trying to walk away, but Kyrie doesn't let him. Onyx ID are so close to taking away game number 1. But can Gear, can Ben make something happen? They don't even get to clear that single minion left. And that's going to be game 1 over to Onyx ID.
Wow, what a game! What a game we got lined up here today. Really well played coming in from the side of Onyx, making sure that their fluid motions really brought up a new level of play. Win the laning phase on all 3 of the lanes. Have the time of your life during the mid-game.
My goodness, the adjustments.
Yeah, that was way too easy for Onyx. Honestly, even it feels like Evil were wondering, it's like, how could that have gone better for us? That was just Onyx being Onyx. Look, they stepped up, dominated Gear in lane, Keyboy and Sans, deaths and trades here and there, but ultimately got the job done. They got their winning conditions, all of them. Easy win for Onyx.
Really, really good stuff. Again, this is only the very first match here as they start heading on over into the back, making sure they're keeping the fans' hopes alive. But this was the major combo, right? Again, we didn't get to see it too often, but it's something that they had in their arsenal this entire time. It's the curtain call into the AOG. It's really hard. It's an almost guaranteed hit on the AOG every single time, and they only whipped it out right at the end.
Yeah, what was that? What was Aether and Powerful caught together, I think. So you get those two players out, and Ben couldn't do much anymore, not even with the presence of the Arlott by his side.
There's no other way to look at it than you're seeing here the Sky Kings. This is peak Onyx form. But what I like about this performance is that I didn't really see a lot of moments that made me go, what are you doing there? It was just a whole load of, they were all there at the right time, initiated at the right time, entered at the right time. Everything was just at the perfect timing for Onyx time.
After all the series we've been through today,
Yeah.
it feels weird to not have a what was that moment.
Exactly. No, I'm happy about it. I'm happy about it. Keeps the right side of my brain still active before it runs out of gas. And at the very least, looking at the way that Onyx is playing, it's really telling Evil, hey, you are the ones who need to crack us, not the other way around. Once Onyx gets the tempo, they get into that flow state. And that's something that we need to address, because why did Onyx decide, you know what, we could have dove at any point in time knowing that we have the Faramis in hand and the Black Dragon form. So why didn't they do it right at the top side inhibitor and instead went straight into mid? Final slash. Still a massive amount of respect despite Gear being 0-2 by the time he got involved in these fights.
Yeah, it's like every single time they knew that there is even the slightest chance that Evil could get maybe one or two members out or force a couple things out, and they would rather not risk it. Because I think we saw a glimpse of it almost happening in the mid lane before Lutpi jumped in, and I'm not sure if he used the Petrify, but basically he was the guy who seemingly went for the cleanup or allowed Kyrie to go for the cleanup. So that was a moment where it could have happened, but Onyx were just too careful about it, and they made sure that this ended in less than 12 minutes.
Yeah, let's go. Lutpi finally didn't get shafted in lane and now shows us what an EXP can do given the right amount of resource. He doesn't need a lot. He's 3-0-7. A majority of his participations were just assists.
Yeah. Really easy to step up with one of the strongest lane bullies in the game, but to be able to shine with it, get an MVP performance with it, that's a little bit more difficult because it means it's requesting perfection of you to make the most out of your Furious Dive, all of your combinations to apply the pressure at the right time, which is exactly what Lutpi did.
So good, so good. When we look at these highlights, right, we need to break it down simply just by the way that Onyx is looking to fight. A majority of these fights that we see here really just comes down to, like, how do I punish the mid lane? How do I make sure that Sayla is never going to be in the right position at the right time to get maximum value out of that Feathered Airstrike? And especially since you have 3 losing lanes and priority in each and every single one of them, this is why you see moments like this where it's like, oh, the AOG is definitely going to connect. Who else is nearby? They win a 4v5 with a late addition to Gear coming in at the end. All of this, every move that we see coming out from Evil gets punished in one way or another. This is something that Onyx has been doing since its inception, especially since their import Kyrie has made waves here in MPL ID and now the international stage, as per always, but even more so to the level of perfection where, honestly, even Ben, how do you realistically play this game? You walk up, you're going to get engaged on. You stay too far back, you're as good as dead anyways. All of which, just nothing they can really do. I have not much to analyze about this because really the only thing I can ask for Evil is to take bigger risks. And if they fail those risks, they just lose faster. If they happen to win out in those fights, good for them. They buy themselves 2 minutes.
I guess it was a bit too difficult for them to feel confident enough because Sayla didn't have the best possible early game. Or like Sayla was the focus of Onyx during the early stages of the game. And Sayla had to play such a big role in terms of the early damage, in terms of the early rotations, because they're on a backshot jungle. So that was a requirement, and Onyx immediately took it away from them.
It makes me wonder whose call it was. See, look at the deficits. To send Powerful away from the mid to ensure that Sayla, instead of ensuring that Sayla would hit level 4, Powerful just decided to hold the key position as if the Pharsa was already level 4 alongside Aether, which they were a little bit closer to the EXP lane then at that time, instead of helping Sayla out in mid. And that little decision eventually snowballed into a big runaway win for Keyboy and Sans at the center of the map, and which meant Kyrie was like, I'm just gonna farm, man. I'm gonna be here getting a perfect game.
I think that EVIL really need to evolve their template style of gameplay, right? They have such tight win conditions, and they're always assuming that the opponents are going to fall into it one way or another. If, they get a little tired, you go on autopilot, bam, that's when we're going to catch him. We're already in the international stage. It has been 4 consecutive years where we're seeing teams, and honestly, this is where a lot of people leaned into Team Flash more than EVIL for a majority of it because of the experience, right? We see people like Diablo forcing out plays against their opponents to get something back. We don't see that from EVIL.
Yeah, those plays, even those heroes that Diablo, let's say, decides to bring out, and it's the flavor which a lot of people really appreciate about Singapore, despite them not really getting those commendable finishes just yet. But hopefully, we get to see that in as early as game 2.
So that was game number 1. Again, best of 3. But it seems like EVIL has way more things to prepare and work on to make sure that they can make this a competitive series and force a game number 3 against the champions of Indonesia. But now we're going to have a little conversation with fans of EVIL who flew out all the way from Singapore to join us here in Jakarta at the EXO Hall. So there's Rose.
Hey guys, Rose here. So right now I'm actually interviewing a little bit of the EVIL friends that I have spotted out in the arena. Hey boys. Okay guys, introduce yourself to all of our audiences.
I'm Musa. I'm Bada. I'm Elvin, also known as Tizu.
Okay guys, so, oh wow, the energy is overpowering right now. So guys, where are you guys from actually? Did you guys fly from Singapore with EVIL?
Correct.
Wow, dedicated friends I see. Now, tell us a little bit more. Why did you guys decide to support EVIL despite having so many teams here in the M7?
Why? Why? There's no why. No such thing as why. Yes, it's who we are supporting.
Oh, who are you supporting?
Correct, EVIL. EVIL.
EVIL as a whole?
I mean, yes, generally, but like specifically one person.
Who?
Our brother person. Our blood brother. Brother from another mother. Powerful. The only person.
Oh my. So Powerful is your brother from another mother.
Correct. Yes, that's correct. That's correct.
How did you guys meet? Back then in school? What was it like?
When
Back
we
then-
were 12 years old.
Oh, 12 years old. You kind of just exposed your age a little bit. Now, since you guys have known Powerful for quite a while, and of course you guys are here to support him, how does it feel to finally seeing him play on the big stage? He finally debuted on an international stage.
It's a fantastic experience as like we see him like perform at the big stage. It brings smile and joy to us.
So like we've seen everything he's done his entire life. So like kind of proud.
It's a huge dream for him.
Actually very proud.
Very proud.
Very proud.
Really supportive friends. I really like that. Now, we know that currently you guys are going up against Onyx Indonesia, and from the arena over here, it's a full house, and most of them are definitely Onyx fans, or Sonics, that's what we call them. Do you guys feel extra pressure for EVIL?
Yeah, crazy people.
I don't feel pressure.
The whole stadium against us.
I don't feel pressure. He's our first international, by the way. This won't be the last time you guys will be seeing us.
It only go against the whole stadium.
So 3 versus the whole arena.
Correct.
That's all we need. I think right now, EVIL and Powerful is probably listening to us back in the player room before we begin the second game of their series. And potentially, this could be their last because it is definitely match point for Onyx ID. Is there anything you guys want to say to your brother from another mother?
Just gotta adjust, you know. Everything's possible. Just gotta lock in. Lock in.
Last message. What? Last message.
No. Once we're evil.
Wait, can I just share one thing?
Yeah, you want to say one thing?
So back in M4, both me and Powerful came to Jakarta as well. Then I remember he told me clearly that Elvin, one day we're gonna come here. And then now that we see him here, like, you know, it's like a really touching and proud moment lah for us. Especially us, like his friends for 9 years, you know. So like we're really very happy and proud for him lah. Yeah.
There you go, Powerful. You have 3 brothers from another mother who is definitely cheering you and supporting you in your journey. We wish you the very best in this potential last game for Evil. Thank you so much, boys. And with that, we are throwing it back to the game. Onyx ID or Evil 1 will continue their journey on the M7 World Championship stage.
Let's go, Evo!
That was one of my favorite interviews of all time, bro. No, these guys are a vibe. That was so good.
I'm waiting for Powerful to come up with an album at this point.
Yeah,
drop
same.
the EP with your friends, man. Like they feel suited for it.
I wish I had friends like that. They were just so.
We hype you up in MPLPH, so we're not your friends.
No.
We've worked with you for 2 years now.
Don't worry, forget about
And you're
that.
still wishing you had friends like that.
No, I meant like.
I hope
Look at that.
all the PH talents just heard that. Naisu. Who else is off of the PH talent?
While
Wolf.
he's thinking about it, don't worry, Brigitte, because there are new ways to celebrate esports. Tell us about it. The official MLBBM Series tournament trading cards.
Oh, I want to have my own set of this because they bring premium design and modern tech together, and they're available this January. You just have to head to play.com for early access and grab yours to hold a real piece of the M Series legacy, because who knows which player you're gonna get out of all the M7 players we have right here.
It's just one of the few things that you could be doing. Have you gotten all the talents out of the way? Because let me tell you, I have an easy way to memorize stuff, right? It comes with a simple system, and all you gotta do is look at these characters, and usually they come back up in your head pretty quickly. Look at this. Who does this remind you of? Come on.
Bring it up.
Easy. And all you guys have to do is to be able to memorize these names and all of our talent names, because most of you forget it, you sickos. Check out Acecraft, an STG built around adaptability, random skills, bullet deflection mechanics, and a retro cartoon style, all designed for fast, skill-driven aerial combat. So jump into Acecraft now for some new nostalgic fun.
Attention! MLBB Academy has been fully upgraded. Get personal weekly reports to understand your pacing, strengths, weaknesses, along with a complete match history, so every big moment is recorded. You can also rate trending topics, such as your friend telling you that she doesn't consider you as a friend, despite spending 2 years hyping her up. I was going to say earlier that Brigitte is like a plane, because she just keeps going up and up with all of her achievements in her career, but yet she says that she wishes she had friends like the friends of Powerful in the interview that we had earlier. I guess apparently we're not good enough hype men. So MLBB Academy is where you're watch matches and understand your growth at MLBB. You can check it out at mobilelegends.com/academy, #MLBB Academy, and #Mobile Legends Bang Bang.
Soon, eventually, it's going to get so high, it's going to start crashing into towers or something. Either way, I think for the upcoming game, Evil's adaptability needs to be put in a little bit of a box, right? Because the way that we're seeing Onyx dominate these lanes, Evil need to bring the same type of hype there. They need to be able to kind of match those lanes and hold on specifically to priority. They don't have to win the lane necessarily, but if you're already losing all three, it's almost guaranteed that it's a downhill slope.
Wait, what's with the face?
Don't worry about him.
What's with the face?
He's thinking who other MPL talents he's missed out.
I'm thinking about.
Oh no, not the second one. All right, Evil, back up onto the stage here.
Wait, okay.
They're on match again. Onyx is on match point. It is not an easy position to be in, but Singapore is notorious, and this is why I don't count them out. There's too many times where Singapore as a region has knocked the Malaysian representative out, and I feel like they can do that to anybody.
I mean, unlike the other regions, right? It wasn't entirely a reverse, a sweep, or whatever, but hey.
No, it's just the effect that Keyboy had on the camera there was actually pretty trippy.
Oh, okay, fine. Anyway, I do feel like Sayla would definitely want a better game here.
He definitely does. I think, again, they need to work together. Like him and Powerful, right? They should operate as one, and they need to be ambidextrous, right? And what do I mean by ambidextrous? Yes, it means to be able to write with both your left and your right hands, but they need to work in tandem with each other. If we're going into the same directions, hey, let's both go into the same direction. You open up the map, I'll do the rest. If we need to spread our resources, at least make it very clear how we're going to make it happen, because we're going back to the dangerous grass.
Oh, yeah, and just at least don't leave
like grass.
What?
I like Rat.
Ah, okay. Don't leave. Don't leave crucial people at crucial moments. Okay. I wonder how similar it is. Will we still get to see the Yu Zhong? Okay, not anymore. Never mind.
That's an instant ban. Don't worry, Lupi still has Lapu, so it's not the worst.
Yeah. Good call there. Just take it out. At least you aren't gonna have like super sure matchups. Like, oh, the Yuzong is pretty much gonna dominate whoever is gonna go up against.
Better question.
Most EXP leaders.
Better question. Why did Evil ban out Claude here? Is Claude not a consideration for Ven? I know that the one common thing amongst Filipinos is that they're really good at singing. They're all good at Claude.
Yeah.
Like it's built in your blood.
Yeah. But even the Freya gets respected here by Onyx immediately. So a lot of heroes are open, honestly. So the Jushin's won for sure. So is the Eve, which is, I think, a great response to that. Eve.
Yep. Cryo.
They call me a
How did he
hero
contest for it
because
though?
I saved my
Shin.
nation from falling apart.
Among the planes exists.
So we
the
expected the
equilibrium.
Eve. I wasn't really expecting the Yi Shun Shin to come out this early on, but I guess they're using it as a blind pick, right? They're like, Kyrie, no matter what happens, we're going to take care of you. Let's first show your pick, just so we have a better idea of what Evil is trying to grasp with this Zushin. And banning out the Claude, man, it's so strange to me.
Yeah, it's very concerning considering that they banned out the Cloud, they banned out the Yuzong, they leave the Eve open, they prioritize Juicin. Okay, maybe this is why they want to pick the Leomord into the Juicin. Into the Eve, excuse me. That's sort of like their answer, considering that they took out two of the best divers that can give this Eve a problem. Then they pick up a Uranus, which has been okay. Going back to the past, it's always like, okay, why is this on the other side? Uranus is a good pick.
Yeah, I think I figured it out here. I think Evil right now want to bait Onyx into giving Skylar the carry. That's just the suspicion though, right? Because there's no real reason for you to show your Uranus this early on. Yes, it does work well with the Zushin, but now Esmeralda going to be the counter pick on the opposite side, and they still don't necessarily have to take the marksman. I feel that now that they know that Skylar is comfortable in playing the fighter style and will take advantage of Vengeance, Evil might just do the exact same thing.
What if this is also a flex, honestly?
Uranus Gold?
No, for the Esmeralda. Okay, there's the high loss, because I thought we would be seeing two horses finally, but maybe not. That's a lot of dive we're expecting to see from Evil. And maybe they want to take note of these options that could counter or answer back to these attempts. So the Gatot Ketchup being one also gets taken out.
Very nice, very nice. I like this Gato ban. As much as I want Evil to have it, there's almost no way they're going to get it. I'm pretty confident that Onyx would have just blind picked the Gato anyways, just as denial and raw appeal against someone like Leomord. Because if you taunt him out of the way or he has to get on top of Barbiel, you can almost kind of preemptively AOG or taunt.
Because even if they're not playing like with burst, I wouldn't mind if Onyx decide to pick up Cho as their role. Considering that they pick up the Esmeralda this early on because they're thinking, okay, Esmeralda, no matter what, will hit the point where Lupi can just front. It's not going to be easy to take this Esmeralda down. So they're already saying, this is our front line, then you can play for pickoff. You take away the Hilda, you took out the Grok earlier, there's no roamers left that could help potentially match that rotational speed that a Cho has. So if you just want mid-control, aggression, river control, you pick up Cho.
I think it's Cho Khalid that's going to be the contestant, actually.
Yeah, actually, yes.
There's an argument for both, because Khalid's really good playing into the RWM, and Onyx can honestly pick it up for themselves. They're just trying to like, hey, if you are going to try and out-rotate me, I'm going to cut you down. Instead, they go for Chip, a more all-in style of it.
Yeah, so it's just Cho. I just got the last two letters wrong.
Yeah.
That was way funnier than I was expecting it to be. Very nice, very nice. I like that one a lot.
Okay. Well, at least there's not much sudden answers that Evil could throw out if ever they go for the shortcut plays. I mean, there's the Crimson Beacon and the Phantom Steed. But if they get to
go in first with the right amount of damage, then that'll be okay. Especially we don't know what Skylar is gonna pick yet.
Yeah, I don't think he has any decent options at this point. I mean, Claw would have been really, really nice for him, but you know, you get what you get. The Cho, as expected, gonna get locked in, called by Redmar himself. Their final pick, though, is going to be into the carry. So they waited all the way till the very end just to give it. I'm pretty sure that Skylar. Whoa!
What? So,
Oh!
so it is an Esmeralda gold, or
Yep.
it's an Arlo. No, it's an Esmeralda gold. It has to be.
Wait, did they switch? I'm gonna have to double
Wait,
check that.
let me also.
Okay,
it is.
Yeah, okay, it's Esme Gold.
It is Esme Gold. Interesting. I mean, Skylar, it's not uncommon because Skylar has done this before, but I like the fact that Onyx are really leaning into, hey, we can really play fighter goals. Quit letting it through.
Yeah, it seems like they also took the little thing that we mentioned earlier that trust Kyrie. That's 2 games now where they played fighter, and then it's really just play for the Yi Sun Shin. I mean, it worked out for SRG up against Team Liquid Philippines. Team Liquid Philippines. So if that's the idea, maybe it'll work.
I don't know. I think it's kind of risky here right now. I think that Onyx main win condition, if we're looking at the way we're heading on into the Land of Dawn, knowing this could be the final time we see evil, we need to look for weaknesses. Wait, Gear takes Aegis?
Oh!
Why? Why would he take Aegis?
We're against an Esmeralda.
There's even an Esmeralda on the other side. You can flick, you can purify, you go for Aegis.
Like, even Sprint makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Oh, a lot of questions for Evil in the early stages of the game, but at least they're doing decent in me.
They're not losing lane. That's that for Star is already doing better than game number 1.
Yeah, and it's also Master Assassin. Cool. What? Master Assassin, Aegis, this.
What is he going for?
A unique approach.
Okay.
But in the center, look at your boy.
Maybe this is the Singaporean, MLBB surprise.
Wait, I'm thinking about this because Gear has a natural advantage against Lutfi at level 1 and level 2. So taking Master Assassin to really put him at odds, he can do stuff like this, where he can take like one auto, one tower shot, and then as long as he gets Max Sack Ionic Edge onto Lutfi, he guarantees a winning trade. So I think right now, it's to make sure that Lutfi doesn't get as far ahead as he did in game number 1 on that Yuzong, knowing that he's out to make plays.
Okay. At least Sans doesn't really show up.
This is so cruel.
Yeah, they're holding the minions. Sans wasn't able to get it, or he was. He was able to get 1 or 2 out of that.
I mean, credit to Gear. So far, he's been the one constantly shoving lane, and he is controlling Lutfi somewhat. So it's working out well for him so far.
So far. Now Gear making sure that Lutfi is really like deep underneath his turret, right? If anybody tries to make a move, at least he knows that Evil's got his back.
Evil is slightly ahead of Onyx in terms of the XP. Skylar goes in with a falling Star Moon here. He's just trying to zone out so many members. Real world manipulation though committed, and 2 members immediately get deleted. That's the final slash committed by Lutfi and the flicker just to get away. Kiboi lands the stun on 3, and Onyx are still here, but it's Aether who gets the turtle away.
And now they take everything. This is where Kyrie. Oh wait, actually Lutfi is a little too low. Same goes for Keyboy. They don't have enough HP to kind of maintain this, especially against Gear. But hey, Aegis, wow, you saw that Aegis go off. Wow, it protected him from so much damage, but he still died. That's crazy. It's like it's not a good spell.
So really fast. And even Skylar benefited from it, even for just a little bit.
I don't know, it just feels silly. It feels really, really silly to take Aegis, especially when you know that there's an Esmeralda on the other side anyways. Sure, you could be using it pretty decently for lane, but why not just take Sprint? Or why not just take, something real simple? I would honestly make an argument for Execute even to be better than this Aegis.
Because he's the guy who can chase and just finish off kills if he wanted to.
Exactly. Don't play for Peel.
Oh, and now Gear looks to be the target. There's a shortcut
Oh,
that's gonna be
2
committed
seconds.
on him.
And
immediately after that, they're going to resume and return to their individual lanes. Skylar gets the sense that there might be something up top.
Oh
though.
my god.
So he will not try to defend any further. We'll just have to sacrifice the energy shield.
Nice. I thought maybe Boy had his ult ready to go, but he used it down on the bottom side, which is why it kind of snowballed in this particular manner. This is a good response from Evil.
Yeah.
Yeah, they went map to map. They get their carry out of lane. Now they can easily play S5, play 4 Ven. Was able to maximize the energy shield. They don't have to worry about the Esmeralda too much, even though it already has 2 kills. Has enchanted Talisman. They have their first item on their carry, and then they can just build from this point. Hopefully, with rotating together, they don't forget that there are still gold cards that they can give to that carry for just a little bit more of a boost in the gold department.
Yeah, beat him up, Gear. Beat him up ever so slowly. Punch him in his face. Riveting EXP gameplay. Wow, look at him go.
Let's watch this. Okay.
Wow.
That actually hurt.
I mean, he does. He genuinely can like dive him underneath the turret, knowing that Luffy just used his final slash. But now that wait, he missed out on 1 minute. You know what? Never mind. He doesn't need it. He's just gonna proxy the next wave, right?
Ooh. T-Boy's just holding this.
What is he doing? What is he doing? Are you proxying the wave? I want pick one.
Precision Gear did not cut it. Now he will make it. To the turtle goes to the mid, but then there is minion wave pushing down bot. I am losing it.
I gotta do play-by-play. Hold on. Now that's Way of the Dragon, which doesn't connect. Evil will freely get this objective once again, but T-Boy and the other members of Onyx are actually gonna go for it. Gear is down, and not even the Aegis keeps him alive.
Oh. Okay. All right. Despite all of that, the biggest loser in this is still Gear. He lost his entire wave, nearly lost his tier 1, joined the fight, used his Aegis, still died. It is not going well for Gear at this point, and Onyx ID are taking full advantage that he doesn't have a Purify.
Kick from Powerful off angle, but that ended up being a turtle for Evil and another kill maybe.
Oh, Aether gets Barbiel. They're chasing after Skylar. That's 4 members onto him, and he cannot survive. Meanwhile, in the mid lane, he will not die for the 4th time.
Yep. Not yet. Not until he has his Aegis, of course. Classic. The classics. But Skylar honestly got pretty close to actually escaping that. Had he just charged his Falling Star Moon just a little bit longer, I think he would have made it over the wall before Sayla was able to get his max stack sub butterfly to lift him up.
Still a very close game. It's K-Boys being managed relatively well.
Yeah.
The gold lead has not ballooned to an insane amount. Evil has gotten the first 2 turtles. Fen still hasn't died yet. They got him out of lane quicker. They maximized the energy shielding up top with the carry. By all means, Evil can suddenly turn this around if Onyx slip up. The thing is, it's a little bit more conditional of Onyx actually messing up instead of Evil taking the charge here. But they do have the tools.
Yeah.
There is still a gap favoring the Yisun over the Leomord, though. The good thing is Leomord's that hero. He can just clean up. So how do you get to the point where the members of Onyx are low enough for Leomord to clean up? Now that's the question.
Yeah, I think a lot of it just has to come down to Powerful and Ven making the initial attack, killing the target that gets Way of the Dragon, and then having to deal with the RWM later. Because Aether, no matter what, has to come in from like either a flank angle or needs to just peel for his backline. Yeah. One or the other. He can't do both, unfortunately, but that's kind of up to Onyx, because this is a really good case study of Evil playing the reactive draft and defensive draft, while Onyx are the ones who are forced to make more plays.
Yeah, it's Powerful and Ven who have to work together for now, especially if they find the right targets. But at this point, Onyx ID, they're just showing themselves up, and it doesn't feel like they care. Powerful's already pretty low on this Cho, even before this turtle fight.
Yeah, it looked like Onyx were also trying to force the flicker out of him, but he decided to hold on to it, knowing that there's a lot of value with having the flicker on him. Free turtle for Onyx as no more roamer means no more contention for Evil.
Oh, okay.
Again, I don't want to keep. Oh no.
Now that's the Aegis.
Yes!
Now he's alive, but there's a shortcut and a Falling Star Moon all thrown out to the depth at once. The final /2 catching multiple members. They trade out gear for Lutfi and EXP for an EXP lane, but Evil at least defend the mid, but will also have to give up Powerful.
Okay, a 2-for-1 trade in favor of Onyx. They now actually have a decent lead against Evil at this stage. Man, it's so sad. Even with the Aegis, could not sustain the raw damage being pumped out right now. And the fact that Aether is already 2 levels down on Kyrie, these neutral objectives are pretty much uncontestable.
Well, Aether and Ben have not gone down yet. Even Sayla. The formation that Evil have been playing, it's sort of like a Singaporean Ube, just stick it together, play for your carry.
Yeah.
It's worked out well for them. The Crimson Legion of Sayla has stopped on it being overly aggressive.
Another real world and final slash, bringing them right back into the real world manipulation. They get to finally take down that tier 1 in mid. Aether also using the Phantom Steed, but Onyx are not gonna fight head on.
What the heck, are we fighting or what? They need to make a couple of calls here, right? As much as they need to trade up, I think the one thing that Evil's really good at is identifying how much gold profit or loss they get from it. I think they have a very good sense of it, because now they know that Onyx ID has a lead. Being able to fight back is a good thing, but if they don't get a guarantee, they need that 100% guarantee that they get that one guy. If not, it's just not worth the time.
Food beat goes in, but like everyone gets to dodge it. Powerful doesn't find the way of the dragon to answer back.
Still waiting for the Flicker to get back on that show. Sayla, Ven, Aether holding on for dear life every engagement. And slowly the lead of Onyx ID is getting to a point where it's unmanageable for Evil.
Yeah. Look at this. Look at this split that we got with Kyrie on the top side. He's got Keyboy already at a pretty good intersection, monitoring both the purple buff alongside with the Tribe Rush. Meaning anybody on this top side who starts moving past the tier 2s are going to be visible to Keyboy, allowing Onyx ID to make the decision. This is why Kyrie, he's coming back. He thought he was going to recall. No, they start moving towards the mid lane and now they're attacking.
Oh, the combo was not it. Keyboy now finds Ben in the backlines, and the perfect usage of the real world, and the final slash seems like it might be a wipeout for Evil. Aether finds a trade on Sans, but now here is next, and that's the 5th to go down as a wipeout indeed happens, courtesy of Onyx ID.
Whoa, combo done beautifully by Onyx ID. That flank from Keyboy with the conceal straight into the shortcut. Immaculate.
Powerful decided to call it, but in the end, it ended up being a wonderful setup for Onyx to get a massive win there. They get the Lord, they got the wipeout, and it now has gotten to an uncontrollable lead for Onyx. Evil's time is ticking. Let's look at the instant replay. Everything fell perfectly. Even the falling star moon, everything aligned for Onyx to pounce on that.
Just look at Keyboy. He's targeting Ren this entire time, and even Lupi is conveniently on top of him, which is like the best case scenario. It's like you're looking behind to see where the killer is chasing you, and when you look forward, it's just a wall full of knives. It's just, no matter what, you will find death.
Yeah, honestly, even the shortcut layered perfectly with the real world and keeping every single member of Evil in the range of the real world manipulation. So it's not like Keyboy's been using it aggressively all the time. It's like he's always also finding the time to use it in a manner that'll make sure they're able to maximize their other resources as well. Final Slash doesn't connect way of the dragon, just used to kick him away from the range. They still have the Lord. It's healthy in the mid lane, but they'll focus on taking down the other base turrets first. Here looking to be next, still has the Aegis though. Will he use it now? He does, but then he just needs one more hit before he goes down, but Onyx ID don't care. All they want is the sweep, but Evil are still trying to defend, but for now, they can! They take out some minions that are left, but finally, Onyx ID complete the sweep!
2-0, and now they get another life. One more series away for qualification. But unfortunately, we have to say goodbye to another region, another representatives. Evil put their hearts here up on that stage, and they played with everything they got.
Evil ended the 4-season reign of NIP Flash, or excuse me, Team Flash in Singapore, ending their streak. But today, they are not able to take down the Sky Kings. As Jakarta goes wild, they're champions, still holding on. They now go up to the 2-2 bracket. Evil will have to go home.
Look at the Sonics. They're all having so much fun.
and they definitely missed seeing Onyx in this form. Because even those plays from Keyboy on the Cho, and even when it was on the chip, it's a Cho, but he got the last two letters wrong. The chip and the Eve still finding ways to link up to. This is the Onyx we've been wanting to see.
The Onyx that people were expecting. But the faces, you can tell, they wanted to have a better showing. They understood the enemy ahead of them, the Goliaths, the Sky Kings, as you may call them. But at the very least, they wanted to show that Singapore had just a little bit more.
Yeah. Clean, perfect. And as expected for Onyx, this is the type of performance that they needed to deliver. Because anything other than this would have raised questions. This was a definitive answer to all of the doubters here today. Onyx are still here. Best of ones historically, maybe it just doesn't go well for them. But definitely the best of threes. Much more comfortable, much more determined as well.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely helps build up that ego, build out that confidence, because the journey isn't over yet for Onyx. They still have another match ahead of them after the draw to see if they can qualify. But the smiles on Kyrie does tell you, and considering that both Sans as well as Keyboy nonchalantly take off their headsets, they know we can definitely do better, but for now, this will be good enough.
Yep.
Thank you for the effort, Evil.